What's up, Cinemaniacs? We are back with CineTalk by the CineBros. We are finally reaching the climax of episode 5. All of 5 episodes. It's actually amazing how hard it is to get this done.
Yeah.
And we are actually at episode 5. It's actually It's amazing. I think it's practically almost impossible to do, but it ends up working out.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because you have your guests here at 8 o'clock in the morning.
That's it. Yes, guests at 8 o'clock in the morning. All right. So speaking of guests, we are going to start off by introducing my co-host here, the co-host with the most, the man himself, Ed McMahon here, to my Johnny Carson, Chadwick Davis.
All I got to do is this right here.
For love.
I love you, man.
Yeah, for love. That's what it means. And then we also have another guest today, our first female guest, and she is a diehard comic fan, and I believe Marvel is where your heart lies.
Oh yeah.
So we have a comic book fan here, and yes, girls like comic books too, and that is Sarah Tetreault. How you doing?
I am fabulous.
Yes. Even though you had to come in bright and early.
You
got your Asiago bagel.
I did get my Asiago bagel. That was key, and the whipped cream cheese. You have to have the whipped cream cheese.
Craft services around here.
Yeah. I like that. Chad came bearing gifts this morning.
Breakfast. That's a good way to lure people here if you have to make it this early.
Breakfast and dodgeball.
Breakfast and dodgeball. Even when you're falling asleep to the movie because you've seen it 20 times, you're still laughing out loud to every single part. Every single part. It was fabulous.
All right. So we're going to go on here, and we are going to just start off with dodgeball, actually.
Might as well, right?
So we had the votes come in, and the one that won, surprisingly, which is the true underdog story. It came back from like nothing.
Yeah.
Goonies and Spaceballs were like head to head, and then all of a sudden, what happens? The true underdog story.
Yeah.
And dodgeball
I
comes
shared
through
it
the
on
win.
my Facebook page, and all my friends voted dodgeball.
Oh my gosh. I'm glad. I mean, that movie is hilarious.
Yeah.
I really, really wanted Goonies to win, even though I didn't pick it. I am happy that I'm two against two. 2 wins,
It's
2
2 and
wins
2.
now.
It's tied
We're
up
tied
now.
up. So
Yeah.
this is going to be another big one.
Yeah.
But I am so glad that Dodgeball won. But I was hoping that we got to see the Truffle Shuffle because I bought this shirt specifically for Chad this week. And unfortunately, it lost by 1 vote.
Oh.
One vote.
1 vote.
1 vote.
Yes. What are you gonna do? I would have loved to see
Maybe
that. That would have made the CineBros go viral.
Maybe that vote that went to 3 Amigos could have went that way.
Oh my gosh.
That one vote to 3 Amigos.
That would at least put it in this. It's to sudden death.
Yeah, sudden death.
Got the sudden
We
death.
would have put blindfolds on and everything. We would have duked this one out.
So we got the chance to watch Dodgeball this morning.
What an opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, and this is what we're gonna do from now on. We are going to only do like comedies or like those guilty classics, in which we are gonna now call. We are going to call them movies that hurt so good.
Hurt so good.
Yes, they are either so bad or just so good that they hurt so good.
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing those from now on, and let us know what you guys think about the name of Hurt So Good. We like it. We're going to throw a little John Mellencamp in there.
Maybe we can get him on the show sometime. Do you think he'll come on?
I'm sure he listens.
Yeah, I'm sure he does too. How many famous people do you think
he's probably
listen to
that one
this?
person that listens in LA or whatever.
We do have one listener in LA. It could be him. You never know.
We have some in England.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
That is awesome.
amazing.
Yes, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Dodgeball starts off. We got this movie rolling, and it kicks right off at the beginning.
Right from the
from the
opening.
beginning, you have the Grundle scene.
Yep.
You have where the dog comes up and is, doing a little sniff test and all that kind of stuff, and Vince Vaughn thinks it's something else.
Feels good, he said.
It feels good. Tickles, yeah. Not the Grundle. But anyway, so it kicks right in, and then you find out right away that he cannot pay his bills anymore.
Yeah.
That's a sad day.
It is a sad day.
Yeah. So, I mean, what did you think? I mean, what are you thinking as this movie's going on? All the one-liners that are in it.
How many are there?
It's
I think the whole movie is one-liners.
It is
so
way
funny.
too quotable.
I mean, There was a couple of times I started to tear up because
Yeah.
I was laughing so hard. And I also laugh when Chad laughs because he's got that infectious laugh.
No, what are you talking about?
So, your experience, how about you, Sarah? In the morning, going in early, bright and early in the morning. I know you said you were a little tired. I saw you bundle up with your coat, all that kind of stuff. How was it waking up to comedy?
Okay. I usually stay far away from comedy. That's the first thing that you should know about me. So watching something this funny first thing in the morning, it actually brightened my day a little bit.
Oh,
Got some
good.
nice friends. Everybody's laughing. And then, of course, Chad's laugh leading you to laugh. I can't even remember what part.
Oh,
but
yeah.
you laughed about 5-10 seconds longer than you should have just because he was like in the corner. So it's
I do have my
definitely
little giggle.
I'm glad that I watched this
Fantastic
in a
giggle.
group. This movie is so much better in a group.
Most comedies are. I mean,
Yeah.
when it comes down to it, most comedies in a group are a lot more fun. I mean, because people laughing, it enhances everything. Like when you go to a comedy and you have like your friends laughing, even strangers laughing, things are so much funnier. Like, joy brings joy to other people, and I love it.
Yeah.
It was cool. We also have a person in the background over there who I believe will be a guest sometime soon on the show. His name is Doug, and we will, be tackling another. I don't know if he'll come bright and early next time, but to watch the opening movie. But we hope the more the merrier.
Yeah,
at
definitely.
our point. So as far as the comedy goes, I mean, Dodgeball. What's your most memorable line from this? I know what one you like and you quote a lot.
Well, my favorite line, I think, is the best line in the whole movie. Is definitely when he shows up at the girl's house and he tells her that he got her fired because he wanted to date her, and that whole scene was funny. But then when she actually grabs his arm and mushes his face right into the house, and he goes, "Nobody makes me bleed my own blood." I cannot get over that line, dude. Like, who says that? Like, only Ben Stiller says that. That's my favorite line.
WHIT.
E.
What about you? What was your favorite line in that movie?
For me, I mean, it's kind of not very politically correct to say, but the one that made me laugh the hardest, because I totally forgot about it, was it's like watching a bunch of retards fuck a doorknob.
That was.
That's what it was.
He said that.
That's what
I
it was.
Like, holy crap! Like, I mean, obviously you dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. I mean, and that first wrench that he throws hits Justin Long right in the face. That cracks me up every time. That first, and then just over and over again, everybody's getting beamed with wrenches. It's like, get out of the way of the goddamn wrench, but they just can't, and it's hilarious.
I think that quote, the one that you picked, the retards.
Oh my lord!
I think that's a kind of like a throwback to the 1980s hockey team, the movie, the Miracle movie.
Okay.
Where he says he said something about I can't remember the exact quote. I should have looked it up before, but I think it was a throwback to that. He had said something. The coach had said something about, you guys look like a bunch of monkeys humping something, something or rather.
So he
like
did
that.
a play off that.
Yeah, it was definitely
it
was definitely a play off that. I can't remember
Lord.
the exact quote from the 1980s Miracle movie.
That just caught me off. Like I was so surprised when I saw it because I was not expect. I don't remember that quote.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the movie in like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And I just totally forgot about it, and that was like, I lost it at that point in time. I couldn't believe it. That was so ridiculous.
Sarah, your favorite quote?
Who's your daddy? You must be daddy. He just walks over and he's already unclasping the necklace. He's handing it over to the old guy standing there in the studded chains. Average Joe's Gym all in his shirt and all done up in leather. I love it. I love
wasn't
it.
Too happy.
No.
I love it.
I mean, and everybody's got to love also. I mean, one of the best cameos in this movie is Jason Bateman.
There's all kinds of cameos.
There's a lot of cameos. I mean, we have Chuck Norris. You have Lance Armstrong, who does this speech that doesn't seem so.
The guilt trip speech.
Yeah, the guilt trip speech, but it doesn't really hit home as much now with all the steroids and stuff like that he has in the past.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe you should have listened to your own speech in that. But anyway,
you had the Don't Hassle the Hoff. He
Hasselhoff was in there. Yes,
He
that's
smashes
right.
his own picture, just rage quits.
Yes.
Done.
And there's no movie that's bad with David Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
He's fantastic.
Pretty much, yeah.
Do you know that he sells out concerts in
yeah.
Germany?
Yeah, in Germany, yeah.
Yeah, he
He's-
sells out stadiums in
He's
Germany.
like the biggest star in
gosh.
Germany.
Yeah.
It's crazy. He had that one song that was a hit.
He had a song that was a hit?
Yeah, it was a hit, yeah.
You probably dropped it when you were a DJ.
I dropped it all the time. I had the remix made by you, as a matter of fact.
I didn't make a remix to a David Hasselhoff.
Oh, no, maybe that was Phil Lipman.
I think it was. I think I had that CD actually. All I remember is the drop going, David Hasselhoff. That's real. That is real.
The Hoff. Oh, talk about off topic.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, I mean, this movie has so many cameos, and Jason Bateman in this movie is
best.
so funny on The Ocho.
Yeah.
Pepper.
ESPN The Ocho.
Yeah, Pepper.
Yes,
Pepper.
Pepper. What's his last name? Does he say?
Is it Pepper?
Yeah, it's Pepper.
Is it something Pepper?
Yeah,
I think so.
I think his first name is Pepper. It's Pepper something.
I don't know. He's like, Pepper needs a new change of shorts. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh my gosh.
He did say it. He did say it when they first announced.
Yeah.
I can't remember his last name though.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I just, everything that comes out of his mouth is so funny, and the look that's always on his face. He's like,
Yeah.
back to you, Cotton.
I love that one shot. He's just pure up the nose in the camera angle. He's like,
He's always looking back at the crowd.
Yeah. He's constantly every shot. He's like
shifting in his chair, just like sitting sideways, like, oh.
Let's see how this works out. Let's see how this works out for him.
Oh, they're going to forfeit. What a great strategy. Let's see how this plays out for him.
Oh my lord, he is. ridiculous. What's that?
Pepper Brooks.
Thank
Pepper
you,
Brooks.
Doug.
Thank you for the
There we
fact
go.
checker back
Google
there.
Google
Excellent.
back there.
Yes, that's awesome. I like having a fact checker.
Everybody needs a
great.
couch, Doug.
Yes, exactly.
All right, so if you had to rate this movie, what would your official rating be for this movie?
This movie, I mean, the thing is watching it with a group of people always enhances it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. I mean, when you watch something like this, a comedy or something like that, everybody's laughing and having a good time. It always brings it up a notch. Like, if I watched this by myself, I would have been laughing. I would have guaranteed been laughing throughout the movie.
Yeah.
But having everybody here, I would like if I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was hilarious. I think even on my Vudu, I think I had only rated it as like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
But watching it and now talking about it is bringing it to another level. It's 8 out of 10 for me. 8, yeah, absolutely. What about you?
Chadwick's official rating is an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Even
8 out of 10.
even by myself, if I'm watching that, because
Yeah.
I will watch this on TV if it's on TV.
It's not as good on TV. You need
It's
the,
not.
you need
It's
the
not.
swears and
Yeah, it's
The vulgarity of it makes it.
Yeah.
Is the movie.
But if it's on like HBO or whatever, I will sit there and watch it. I mean, it's a great movie. I mean, 8 out of 10, definitely.
All right.
What
What
about
about
you,
you?
8 or 10.
8 out of 10 across the
across the
board.
boards.
How about you, Doug?
I really like that movie. I'd give it a 9.
9
out of 10.
Whoa!
Going strong with the
Man.
9.
I mean,
Excellent.
it's rewatchable, and as Chad said,
rewatchability
every
of it,
time
yeah.
every time it's on TV, I'll put it on, even if I'm not really paying attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I always forget how good it is until it's on, and then I'm just like, there.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, a lot of Vince Vaughn's movies from that time, even Ben Stiller.
Ben
Yes.
Stiller, yeah.
All those, I mean, those two guys in that era, that, from like, probably like 2001 to 2006, they were like on top of their game.
Yeah.
And it's gotten a little stale as time has gone on,
Yeah.
but oh my gosh.
If you had to pick the better out of the two for this movie, just for this movie alone,
Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller hands
Oh,
down.
yeah.
I
Hands
would
down.
think.
He's
Yeah.
absolutely insane.
He is so good. And you can even tell, like, you can almost tell by watching them go back and forth that Vince Vaughn almost seemed like he was over his head.
Yeah.
Like, because Ben Stiller was so quick
Yeah.
with, like, they had to be mostly ad libs and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But he was
there had to
so
be
quick
much
with that.
ad-libbing in this.
I saw him on Fallon recently.
Yeah.
And he was like, and Fallon is from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
So they do a lot of improv
Yeah,
and stuff
oh
like
yeah,
that.
tons.
And Ben Stiller was destroying Fallon when
Yeah.
it came to improv.
Yeah.
I was like floored. I mean, I've always thought he was funny.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he had that kind of like comedic ad libbery, you know, like
Yeah.
he could just come in and be like boom, 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 and just play off anything. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, just things are getting thrown out there, and he's just boom, boom, boom. It was really, really well done.
I think he's one of those guys that he's very popular, but at the same time I think he's underrated. Like when you have lists of great actors, like his name is not brought up that often, but it should be. That it really should be. I mean, it should be in everybody's top 5, top 10. I mean, if you're watching his movies, I mean, he's great in every single. I don't even know if I can name a movie that he wasn't good in. I mean,
But he's so goofy.
I mean, Walter Mitty, he was pretty good in. That wasn't, I wouldn't say the greatest movie ever.
he has a range though. I mean, he doesn't
has
just
a little
do
bit-
goofy.
He has a little bit more of a, I mean, but he does play that character a lot.
He
I mean,
does, yeah.
He played a similar character in Tropic Thunder.
Yep.
That he did in this movie. And,
Zoolander.
Zoolander is what
Zoolander,
I
he
was
had
thinking
another
of.
character.
He's very like.
What was the throwback one with him and no, well, maybe it wasn't him. Maybe it was Owen.
Starsky and Hutch.
Starsky and Hutch.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
The dance off.
Do it.
The dance off was the greatest.
Oh my god.
The dance
Dude,
off?
everything, like, I'm telling you, just, I love that movie. I have that in the future.
Yeah.
In my list.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoy that movie. It's one of
I
those
did
movies
too,
that
yeah.
I actually like the Dukes of Hazzard remake too.
I didn't watch that one.
I like that one that came out several years ago. It's really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a good movie
Jessica
at all.
Simpson was in it, right?
Yes.
Yes,
yeah.
yes, she
Yes,
was.
Yes. And yeah, at the height of her popularity too.
Willie Nelson made that movie.
He was funny. That was really funny. But yeah, I mean, all these movies, I just, I can't wait to rip through them over, by week by week.
Yeah, man.
So we're going to move on to the next one. We all rated these. We all loved it. Thank you very much for voting. What is your next movie to provide us for the vote?
All right, so we cut it down a little bit.
We're gonna be taking them way down. We think that 6 is just way too many.
Yeah.
So when we have a guest on, we'll do 1 each, and when we don't have a guest on, we're gonna probably do 2 each.
2 each, yeah.
So it'll be a little bit different, but we'll we'll still have a good variety, hopefully. So.
It'll make it a little bit closer.
But
to the
all
voting
movies
system.
that hurt so good.
Yeah. All right, so it's hard for me because I like doing my little category kind of things, and since I only have one movie, there's really no category for one movie. But my category was gonna be underrated Will Ferrell movies or lesser known kind of Will Ferrell kind of movies.
I can't hate on that.
All right, I'm gonna go with Blades of Glory. Yes, I am gonna go with Blades of Glory. It was between that and the Tropic Thunder.
All right.
What was the name of the movie?
Talladega Nights.
What?
Which one?
No, the basketball one. Tropics. Where you play for the Tropics.
Oh my gosh.
Regardless.
Semi-pro.
Semi-pro. There you go. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Blades of Glory. I thought it was awesome. Very funny movie. And I just watched Step Brothers yesterday, so that's why I was on my Will Ferrell kick. And,
I haven't seen that one in a while. I think I have that in
Step
here,
Brothers
too.
is another one that you can.
Step Brothers
watch,
is fun.
but I'm gonna save
them
that
going
one,
back
too.
and forth. John C. Reilly and Will
Yeah.
Ferrell going back and forth. They're hilarious. I love them, and I mean, Talladega Nights. I thought was hilarious.
Yes,
Watching it
that was
again.
another good one. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, just they're just so well. They do such a good job playing off each other. Yeah. So, how about the guest? What is she going to provide us to watch for next week?
I think Cabin in the Woods.
I like that one.
Because you walk in and you're thinking horror, and then it hits you in the face.
Yeah, all right.
Have you seen that one?
I haven't seen Cabin in the
You've
Woods.
got girls making out with wild animals, stuffed heads, like...
That, dude, 8 o'clock in the morning, nothing else I would rather watch.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
Hot chicks and animals.
Bestiality, yes.
I just wanted to throw you through a loop. So there you go, Cabin in the Woods.
No, that sounds like a movie that would hurt so good.
It will.
I saw that opening night at the movie theater.
Really?
Loved that movie. Yes,
we were just talking about that recently.
Yeah, it was
talking about
a very good movie. I like that choice.
I knew nothing about it walking in. I thought I was about to watch a horror movie. I was watching it with Doug. I was like, I hate horror movies. What is wrong with you? First
Definitely
10 minutes, I was on the floor.
Epic twist.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see it. I'm looking
Well,
forward to it.
hopefully
I like twists. I don't really like bestiality so much, but I like twists.
No. It's like taxidermy bestiality.
Bestiality, necrophilia.
That makes it a little bit better. The animals are dead.
The animals dead.
So it's
It doesn't feel any shame.
You gotta be kidding me. Woo!
If you had to make a list
Talk
right
about
up at
a
the
wake-up
top.
call. Holy cow.
You'll enjoy it. Vote for that one. Vote for that one.
All right, well, I am going to be really coming hard this week. I'm going to be coming hard at you guys, and I am going to go with one of my favorite ones that had Will Ferrell in it. We're going streaking.
All right.
Old school,
I
baby.
cannot be mad at that one.
I love that movie so much.
Yeah,
That is so Frank the Tank. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
That is my favorite Will Ferrell movie.
Is it?
Yes.
All right.
Hands down.
And
my
that
favorite one.
Vince Vaughn's good in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, all those. Yeah, You're My Boy Blue. Oh my gosh.
Luke
when they're
Wilson.
standing at the top of that building and they're holding those what are those heavy balls or whatever,
Yeah.
and they throw it down. It's all tied to the, and one goes through the sewer drain, and the fat guy goes flying down. He's like, ah, Oh my gosh, like so ridiculous. The movie's
Snoop-a-loop.
Snoop-a-loop, yeah, Snoop-a-loop. We're going streaking. Come on, Snoop, you can bring your hat.
Yeah, I can't be mad at that at all.
All right, excellent. So those are the movies that we have for next week, and hopefully we'll get another solid voting going on here. And
I think that's going to be
I don't know
mixed.
how Doug feels. He might be willing to drive up for one of those movies, depending on.
I will probably drive up.
All right, excellent.
Movies are great choice.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. I actually am kind of leaning towards Cabin in the Woods because I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I mean, bestiality and necrophilia aside, I am.
That is not the premise of the movie. Get past it.
If that movie loses, we'll watch it still.
Yeah,
We'll watch it. We'll watch it after the podcast or something.
Perfect.
All right.
We'll just make a whole day out of it.
Relax yourself. Relax yourself. I got kids. Sorry, Cam. I couldn't get you off the bus because I had to watch this female make out with a werewolf or something.
It's a stuffed deer head.
Oh God!
It's kid worthy. Earmuffs.
Oh yeah, earmuffs. Exactly. Way to bring it back full circle. All right.
All right.
All right. So let's move on. We're gonna go on to the next. We're gonna go on to the next segment here, and that is new news. New news. Yes. So the first topic up is. These are all subjects that have happened in the last 2 weeks. Everything that we're going to talk about has happened in the last 2 weeks. We're going to try and keep it a little bit closer, like stuff that happened more recently. But if something big dropped, like, someone wanted to really talk about the Avengers 2 trailer
that was.
came out, the
Not
TV
me.
spot number 2, we will gladly put that in there. Chad wanted to put in pixels, all that kind of stuff, so we'll talk about that a little bit later. But for the most part, we're going to try and keep it a little more relevant and new news. So we're going to do, first topic here is Broken Lizard. Creators of movies like, Super Troopers, Beer Fest, have come out and said that they are making Super Troopers 2. The catch is, they need help funding the movie, which apparently they've already reached. They've reached the amount of money that they wanted, which kind of makes me shake my head a little bit.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about Broken Lizard and other studios using crowdfunding as a way to make movies? I'm gonna start this one off with Sarah.
This is going to get me a Super Troopers 2, and Super Troopers 1 is my favorite drinking movie. It is my favorite drinking movie. There are so many hilarious parts. Farva is a drinking game by himself. And I am really excited for this movie. I don't care how it's made. I mean, it would be different, I think, if it was a giant movie that was coming out. Say Avengers was about to go into crowdfunding. That would be awful. But for something like this, where the fans have been waiting for so long, I think it was kind of necessary to get it going. And if the fans really want to see the movie that badly, then, well, they'll pay for it to be made.
That's a solid argument. What about you, Chad? What do you think?
I'm like mixed on this. I mean, we've talked about it.
I have very strong. I have very strong.
I know you
feelings.
have very strong, and I absolutely agree with you on your side. I think it's a good thing. It was Zach Braff, right? He's the director
of this movie.
Zach Braff was.
He did the other.
He was the
did
first one
crowdfunding.
that did the Garden State. He did Garden State.
Was that one with crowdfunding? I know.
Yeah,
he
it was
did one of them.
crowdfunding.
He did one of those.
And that was he didn't want to give up his artistic. Like signing with a big studio.
Yeah.
He didn't want to. He didn't want to give up his.
I get
artistic-
that.
That's what I get, and that's what I understand. And obviously, he doesn't have the money to put up for it.
Bullshit.
I mean,
I call bullshit on that. He was a star of a hit TV show that got syndicated. That dude has some money, and he knows a lot of people with a lot of money.
yeah.
So I call bullshit on that. But I like I said, I have very strong feelings towards this.
There hasn't been a really, really big movie yet, like that has gone through fun.
Well, you had
Garden State did well. Veronica Mars did pretty well.
None of them made their money back.
No, exactly. I mean, I'm sure they must have made some kind of money. I mean,
Nope.
not at all.
No, they all lost money.
Wow.
That's why the studios don't want to fund it, because they know that they're not going to make money.
Yeah.
Like you got to look at it this way. You have, say, 1 million fans that watch your TV show, like Veronica Mars or something like that. They watch it weekly. And they all want a show. Well, you need $15-20 million to make the movie, right? Mm-hmm. Well, you take those million fans, every single one of those fans goes to see the movie.
Yep.
Right? How much money does that bring? $10 million at the box office. You spent $15 million on a production budget alone.
Yeah.
You have to market the movie. A very low marketing account, you're talking maybe $10 million. That's like low. So now you're talking $25 million. You have to make that just to get to the point of where you're still going to lose money if you bring home $25 million at that point. You also have to give your overall box office totals. You have to give a third to the theaters. So that is, I mean, you're talking a movie like that has to make $40-50 million.
Yeah. In order to,
and so they can't make it. I mean, like, I have a feeling Super Troopers. I think this one's going to do
be
okay.
the most successful one. Yeah.
I do. I don't like it. Like I was talking with a friend of ours on Facebook recently, and I was telling him, I was like, I kind of expressed my feelings. Like, these are very rich people. They have made movies, very successful, and when you're in that circle, you have other people that you've had in your movies. You know them. Maybe they can throw you some money and stuff like that to get your thing made. You know studios, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, the studios don't want to touch it. Maybe there is a creative, a reasoning behind why they don't want to let the studios get in touch with it. But when you do all that stuff, great. Now you're going to be giving away swag. Like, you donate $50, I get a digital download.
A digital download, yeah.
I wouldn't spend $50 on the Blu-ray DVD. But you're also spending the money on making sure that the movie gets made.
Yeah.
All right. Is it really that worth it? Because then on top of spending the $50 to get the digital download, which you don't even get a Bluray. You don't even get something to hold. Yeah. You get a digital download, spend $50
somewhere,
and maybe get a poster or something like that. Some of them will even give you credit scenes. Like they'll put you in the credits and stuff like that. But that's
big money.
Big money and stuff like that. I mean, or you can get in to be like in the movie.
As an extra,
if you donate enough. And then on top of that, you still have to pay to go see the movie. Yeah, and it's in theater. It drives me crazy. Like, these people they're very rich, and all they're doing is getting more rich off the movie. And the worst thing that happens to them is that the movie flops. They lose nothing at all.
Yep.
You lost money, and if they do really well, if they make, say, this movie, they make it for $15 million.
Yep.
Like, they get enough crowdfunding to get everybody's supporting it. $15 million. Talking a marketing budget, another 15. Then you have all the theater and stuff like that. Say it makes $100 million, which would be huge. That would be a big success. You guys gonna get anything for it?
We'll get a good movie out of it.
That's a terrible investment. That is a terrible investment.
Lots of laughs with friends is never a terrible investment.
I agree, but the problem is that now they made a crap load of money off of you guys, because they're not gonna give you guys any money. So like they say now, the Broken Lizard group, they take all that money and pool it between themselves. They made $30 million off the movie. Oh, well, they like that. Well, let's come out with Beer Fest 2. Let's have you guys do that.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can raise $10 million for that. And then you get 20 for that. And it keeps going on for it, and they make more money.
I think
that kind of sucks. I just find
I think that's what
crappy.
You just said right there is what I don't like about it is I think it's going to, if it becomes successful, like with this, they're gonna keep on doing it, and I think it's good for every once in a while, like, to make a movie like this, like if they put out a movie like this and a big studio picked it up, I don't think, like you said, it wouldn't make the money back.
Right.
I'm fine with this for certain movies, like smaller movies like this and stuff like that, but I don't want it to keep going this way, and it looks like more movies are going this way.
Right.
They made some really good movies, crowdfunding.
Yeah.
They're very independent movies that are not going to make any money.
I think the crowdfunding is good for those directors that
Starting
are out
off.
that don't have it. Like, they are literally charging all their, like, they have 6 different credit cards, and they are charging them all to the max, and they are putting every dime they have in there. That's what crowdfunding is for, is to actually help someone who doesn't have the money to be able to make his vision come to life.
Yeah.
So basically for you, this is like a bunch of celebrities going out and having people pay for their plastic surgeries to look better.
Kind of, yeah. I mean,
That's awful.
That is how I just look. That's how I look at it.
kind of how it is.
But I do see the other sides of it. Like, studios, when they get their hands on stuff, they can meddle a little too much and really kind of destroy franchises, which they could do that with Super Troopers. I mean, the first Super Troopers is hilarious. Has so many funny lines. Even the trailer that they came out and made for this, like, to kind of introduce it, was funny. I mean, it was really, really funny. But I don't know. I just can't get on board with the whole crowdfunding.
They're getting everybody back, right? If I've seen,
they said they were gonna get more stars in it too.
Yeah.
They were gonna
guest appearances and stuff.
Yeah, with every dollar they reach over it, like if they get 5 million, or because their crowdfunding was, they wanted to get 2
million,
and then if they get
they're
like
already
10
at
million,
3, I think.
yeah,
right
if
now.
they're gonna get like 10, they're gonna add in more things. They'll make the movie a little bit longer, and all that kind of stuff. They'll do a little extra, but still,
I don't see it being as good as the first one, like, at all.
Yeah, you never know. I mean,
I just don't see it.
I don't ever
That first one is classic, man. Like, just that very first opening scene alone with the mushrooms in the car. Like,
oh my God, schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
I saw that opening night in the theater too, and we got to the movie theater late, and the 4 of us had to sit in the very front row. The first time I've ever had to sit in the front row.
Oh really?
It was the worst experience ever, but the movie kind of made up for it.
Yeah.
It was definitely worth.
Dude,
my neck pains for the next week.
Dude, Beer Fest, I saw that in the theater.
I didn't see that. I've seen it, but not in the theater.
I saw that in the theater, and that movie was hilarious.
Yes.
But it also, I never wanted a beer so bad in my life.
Yeah.
Like, by the end of that movie, me and the couple of people that I went and saw it with, we left the theater, went right to like the closest bar. Yep. We were like, a pitcher of beer right away. Yes. And I was like, holy cow! Like, that movie's hilarious. I love that.
My cousin went out and bought the boot. The boot. I think you have it too.
I have one up there.
Yeah.
Michael had one as well.
Yeah.
That was my first experience with the boot.
Love it. I love it. I used to actually drink out of that. So I used to have that boot, and I mean it holds like something like 3.5 pint glasses. I mean, it's ridiculous. By the time you get to the toe of the boot, it's very warm beer, but it's still. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next subject here. That was kind of a long little rant. This one should be a little bit shorter.
A little bit shorter. Yeah.
All right, Vin Diesel told Variety recently, Universal is going to have the biggest movie in history with this Furious 7. It will probably win Best Picture at the Oscars, unless the Oscars don't want to be relevant ever. He went on to say, this will win Best Picture, said Diesel, laying all his cards on the table. There is nothing that will ever come close to the power of this thing. How do you feel about Vin Diesel's comments for Furious 7, Chad?
This guy, I'm waiting to buy tickets for his next
comedy show. Can you do his voice?
No, I can't. I'm waiting to buy tickets for his next comedy show, because that was probably one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life. I know a lot of people don't like the Oscars and the way that they go sometimes with the more independent kind of films, but there is zero. I'm gonna go. There's zero chance this will even get a nod for nomination for any category.
Special effects, maybe?
No, I don't even think it will.
Fight choreography?
No.
What fights? All the fights are car crashes.
This movie has a better chance, and I don't think it will, but it has a better chance of getting a Razzie than it does an Oscar. It's not going to get a Razzie, but I'm just saying it has a better shot at getting a Razzie.
You are 100% correct.
Than an Oscar. I mean, this no way in hell even close to getting an Oscar.
Well, for me, I mean, this is tough. This is tough because he's an idiot. I mean, saying this is just stupid.
I love him for it.
Granted,
he's pulling a Kanye.
Yeah, absolutely.
He is pulling a Kanye.
He's absolutely pulling a Kanye. I mean, he is coming out and saying this movie's great. Obviously, he has personal attachment to it. One of his really close buddies had passed away during the filming and everything like that, and it's really sad. But when it comes down to it, there is no way. I mean, talk about an award show losing all credibility. If they won Best Picture, who would take the Oscars serious?
Yeah.
I mean, they won't even get nominated for a Golden Globe, let alone the Oscars.
Yeah.
I mean, if that MTV Movie Awards, maybe.
Kids' Choice.
Kids.
I think
probably.
that was on last night. As a matter of
Is
fact,
that PG-13? Is that good enough? I mean, is it?
it still might get nominated.
You think so?
Yeah, they still nominate PG-13 movies.
I don't know if it's PG-13 or R. I don't know how much they swear. I can't. remember.
I don't know. Yeah.
So I mean, that's that. I mean, the movie's going to do a lot of money at the box office. The movie's going to make a killing at the box office. It's absolutely destroy the box office.
Oh, yeah.
But as far as being an Academy Award-winning movie, no, not a chance. I mean, he's just spouting off at the mouth, which is fine. Go ahead.
I love him for it. Like you guys said, it's like a Kanye move.
Yeah,
but Kanye is always in the news. Like that's just
that's
ploy.
not always a good thing.
Yeah, no, it is. No. See, you think it's not a good thing? I think it's a fucking awesome thing.
Well, I personally, when he started doing that, I used to respect him as like a rapper and like
Me
kind
too,
of like,
and a producer.
And then as soon as he started going a little bit he started doing these antics where he's going up and telling Taylor Swift that she doesn't deserve the award and Beyonce. I think now I hate him.
Man,
I don't like him at all.
I can't hate him.
I don't like him at all. I think he's an idiot.
Dude, I think it's a good move, man. Like
talk about an attention whore. I mean, oh my god.
And that's fine, but you the whole thing about it is
I think Vin Diesel is 10 million times the man that Kanye West is.
I think Kanye is smarter than a lot of people put him as. I mean,
I don't think he's dumb.
I
just think he's an idiot.
Yeah, but no, I'm not getting off topic again. But it's the same kind of ploy. He's just trying to get it out there. People talking about it. Listen to this guy. And obviously, it's same thing with Kanye. Kanye West does the same thing, and people still go out and buy his albums.
Not this guy.
I know not you, but you're alone. Like. You're
I'm
yourself.
the only one that hasn't bought his album?
There's a lot of people that don't like Kanye. I mean, obviously. But Kanye West is still popular.
Yeah. No,
I mean,
he obviously, yes, he is very popular.
And Vin Diesel is still popular.
Unfortunately, people are starting to act like Kanye West.
Yeah,
in real life, and they think they can get away with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Which sucks.
But you can't because it's Kanye.
Yeah, Kanye can because he's rich, and when he does that at an award show, people just think he's an idiot. What about you, Sarah? What do you think about Vin Diesel comments?
I think he is absolutely ridiculous.
Hands down, ridiculous across the board.
Ridiculous across the board.
Saying that the Oscars will
ridiculous?
never be relevant again just because they're probably not going to get even, as Sean said, even a nod toward an Oscar. So I'm sorry, I guess the Oscars are now relevant according to Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
It shows how much he knows.
Yeah, I mean... that is just it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Yes.
I've heard decent things about the movie.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things.
But it is a popcorn flick.
Yeah.
It is where Popcorn Monster comes out and starts chomping on popcorn, eating Starburst, all that kind of stuff. That's what
all
that
coming
movie's
out
for.
For that movie.
That's what that movie's for. That is not for Oscars. Like, leave that alone.
Yeah.
MTV Movie Awards, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to move on to the next topic, and that's Steven Spielberg has been attached to direct Ready Player One. It's a sci-fi novel published in 2011 and is set in the not too distant future where advanced internet, gaming, and virtual reality technologies have changed the world as we know it and led to the creation of Oasis, a virtual reality universe that people live in and value more than the real world. How I feel about this is the premise of it sounds amazing. And then you attach a director like Steven Spielberg, who is my personal favorite director of all time. I couldn't be more on board. I have not read the sci-fi novel. I have not read it. Anybody here?
No.
Read it? No. But the description of it kind of makes me want to check it out. I'm intrigued. And then you attach Steven Spielberg's on. I'm gonna go see this. I'm gonna see this opening weekend, definitely, because the premise sounds amazing. Steven Spielberg's amazing. I'm in all the way.
Yeah.
I mean, what about you?
Originally, when it first was talked about, Christopher Nolan was tagged.
Yeah, there's been a couple of directors.
And I don't know the like you. I've never read the book, but I know it's very heavily 80s like themed in it, and I think most of the book is revolved around War Games, the 1983 film.
Okay.
Now, Steven Spielberg and Warner Brothers, who is the one making it or whatever, they have no ties to War Games at all. They're gonna have to change the movie for the movie. The surrounds it. I read an article about it. I mean, I read it briefly yesterday. I mean, I don't know. I always say this: the internet. Yeah. Who knows what's truth and what's not? But
it's Spielberg, though. I mean, he's got.
It's Spielberg. No, obviously they attached the correct guy to it now because he has that 80s.
Well, not only that, but he can do everything. He can do comedy. He can do sci-fi.
I think with
he can do
movie,
action.
Though,
he can do adventure.
From what I've read about this movie,
drama.
You need somebody with that 80s attachment to it. Like, it's just. I think it's a great move. I'm gonna definitely want to watch it.
Okay.
I kind of do want to read the book now. Like you.
Yeah. It's very intriguing.
Well, I'm not going to read the book. I'm going to listen to the book because I do the whole listening thing.
Yeah.
Read it to me,
But tell me a bedtime story.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
And you?
I am ready for it. It sounds kind of... I've never read the book, as I said earlier, but it sounds kind of like a mix of Matrix and Gamer and Tron, and I'm ready for it. I am so ready for it. Hopefully there's a lot of really good, fighting. If you're in a virtual reality, there is a lot of possibility for the craziness that you can see on the screen.
I find it really cool, the whole living in a virtual reality, choosing to live in a virtual reality instead of real life. I mean, it seems like that's almost like where gaming and stuff is getting. I mean, you have those people that just lock themselves in their basements for a month and come out and don't shower or anything. They're just in this virtual reality World of Warcraft.
Mom, the meatloaf!
Yeah, exactly. You have virtual World of Warcraft that they just sit there and they're just in this virtual world and that's all that they know. Yeah. And they come out and the lights all bright and all it's it's one of those things that it's very intriguing to I would love to see it on the big screen. I can't wait.
Yes.
All right, so the next one up is directors, and I know someone will be very excited to talk about this. Directors of movies like You, Me, and Dupree and the Captain America the Winter Soldier, the Russo brothers, have been signed on to direct not only Captain America Civil War, which comes out next year, but also to take over the helm as the directors in the next two Avengers movies, the Avengers Infinity Wars. Are you in or out on being given, on these two directors, the Russo brothers, being given control of this universe? Sarah, I'll let you start off.
I am so in. This is a great opportunity for them to practice for the Infinity Wars coming up.
With Civil War? Okay.
Yes, there are going to be a lot more superheroes in Civil War. There's going Avengers to be a lot more. Exactly, there is going to be a lot more going on. I also like how Winter Soldier evolved the Captain America story. Doug ruined it for me. He did tell me that Bucky was going to be the Winter Soldier. So I walked into it kind of knowing what to expect, and even that didn't take away from anything. It was amazing.
It's a really well done movie.
It was very well written and very well acted. The directing was fabulous. Just good movie. I'm so excited for the rest of the series. I can't even talk about it.
I'm
ready.
I have a lot of Captain America books down here if you want to check them out later. So. What about you, Chad? How do you feel about this? I know you're not the biggest superhero and comic book fan, but
I think it's a good move. I mean, like she said, it's kind of like them warming up to the big one. I mean, I know you talk about it all the time with me, and I try to understand it, and you get to understand. I am solid. All right, there's one of those words again. I can't say it. Solidly.
Solidly.
Yeah.
All right.
I knew that was going to come out eventually. I really try to get into it now. I've just never been a fan of the superhero movies, and I did like You, Me, and Dupree. I mean,
I think that's an underrated movie.
Very underrated movie.
People dog on that movie.
Yeah, I loved it.
I mean, I love Owen Wilson. So, I mean,
me too. Yeah.
I think I love him. So that movie was great. I mean, for me, I don't like it. I don't like this idea.
Why?
I don't like the Russo brothers because I feel like you get directing and movie fatigue on one particular genre. I would be fine with them directing. I'm fine with them directing Civil War. They had just signed a big contract with Sony, and Sony is not a part of this universe at all. They have the original Spider-Man series and all that kind of stuff. They have all that kind of stuff, and they're doing this Ghostbusters thing. And I know the Russo brothers just got signed with Sony to kind of oversee a lot of those projects. And on top of that, now they are given two of the biggest movies in the Marvel Cinematic history. I mean, the Infinity Wars, the Infinity Gauntlet, as it is in the comic books, is a huge story. And you're going to have them direct. They already did the Winter Soldier. Then they're going to go do Civil War. Then they're going to do Infinity Wars 1. Then they're going to do Infinity Wars 2. That's a lot of movies. Joss Whedon is doing his second Avengers movie, and the dude is like limping around on set because he's so beaten down by this franchise. And he actually came out and said he's so tired of the Avengers, he was glad to have Ultron be this thing so he could focus on and beat down the Avengers. Like he just hated them at that point in time because he had done nothing but deal with them for such a long period of time. When you are directing these kind of movies, you're just engulfed with this for months and months and months at a time. Granted, there's 2 of them, so I think that'll help with the fatigue. Mm-hmm. But still, that's a lot of movies to be just surrounded in this one universe. I don't like it. It's just me.
That could be a negative. I mean, that now that you brought that up, I mean, they could get tired. I mean, they just could flat out. I mean,
the other thing is too, the Winter Soldier is amazing. Yeah. It's probably one of the best standalone like Marvel superhero movies, like Captain America movie, like Iron Man 1. Great, brought them back to the forefront. I think that movie's amazing. Obviously, Captain America, the first one, didn't hit very well. I know that you fell asleep, I think, during it and all.
Maybe I watched the wrong one again. I'm always watching the goddamn wrong movies. I watched that and I snoozed right off the bat.
Winter Soldier was very well done. I liked the original, the first Thor. I thought the second Thor was better, but I'm kind of in the minority on that. Second Iron Man wasn't very good and very well received. The third Iron Man movie made a ton of money at the box office, but. When's it the next Civil War? When's it the movie just is okay? No. When's if it's like good, but not Avengers good? I mean, this is Avengers 2.0. There's going to be almost all the characters are going to be in this Civil War movie.
If it's good but not Avengers good, they have this movie to fix everything they need it to be Avengers good.
And that gives you 3-year period where you're just in the back of your mind, I'm nervous about Infinity Wars.
I also really enjoy that they're going to be such a big part of this project as a whole because Marvel released their entire list of movies that they're going to be producing, and it is very long. There's 3 movies on that list is not a lot of movies. It is a very small chunk.
It's not a lot of movies.
And it's such an important chunk to carry together. Just cinematically and for storyline purposes, it's kind of good keeping all of it surrounded by one set of directors.
The good thing, that is a good thing, is having them, because they can now take Civil War and they can say, this is what we're going to do in Infinity Wars. Mm-hmm. Like, we can tie it in that way. The problem is now they also have to oversee all of those other Marvel movies because all of that stuff has to tie in. The Inhuman stuff has to tie in. The Black Panther movie that comes out, Captain Marvel that comes out, all those movies have to tie in, and they are going to be constantly being contacted about that kind of stuff. Like, how can we make this work so that it creates the cinematic universe that we have woven so well together continue on? It's just, I feel like it just could beat them down in a bad way, and I'm nervous about it. I'm nervous early before even seeing Civil War. I am looking forward to Civil War because I think it could be huge. I mean, it could be amazing, but I'm nervous about it. I'm really looking forward to Avengers 2 because I love Ultron. He's one of my favorite villains. So, all right. So we kind of split a little bit. Chad was kind of on the fence at that point in time because after hearing what I said, and I do agree with what you said, though. I think that is good that they can, kind of
keep the universe together.
Keep it together a little bit better without having so many different moving parts, with different directors.
We don't want another X-Men. We really don't want another X-Men where you have to fix it with a whole other movie and 2 different sets of actors.
Movie,
it really was, but that's the last thing you want.
The Last Stand was not very good, and then they backed that up with the Wolverine Origins, which was...
It was a great Wolverine movie, but it was just the Wolverine movie.
Hugh Jackman was really good in it.
Yes.
The movie, like Liv Schreiber and all that, they were so bad. I mean, it's just everything about that. I mean, the studio got their hands all over that, meddled everything up, and I'm just glad that Bryan Singer came back. I just hit my microphone. I'm sorry about that. And I'm glad Bryan Singer came back because I think that really fixed the franchise. So,
right.
All right. So next topic is recently in the comics, it has been suggested that Donatello of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles died due to a blow to the head from a sledgehammer. Bebop and Rocksteady, those guys.
At it again.
The question is this: is it good for major characters to be killed off occasionally for a major franchise? Not in the comics, because that happens all the time in the comics.
All the time.
Is it good in the movies?
Absolutely.
You think so? Okay.
Absolutely. You get hung up with characters who, at one point, the actor almost becomes that character. When you see Hugh Jackman nowadays, you see Wolverine. Like, they're almost the same person. So it opens up...
I think Robert Downey Jr. is having a really hard time.
Yeah, he is Iron Man. He is Tony Stark, and it doesn't help that he plays that character so well because he is already a billionaire philanthropist. Yay! Like, so I think it's really good because it opens up, like, a whole new place for the movies to go. I would have almost rather seen, instead of a new Spider-Man reboot for the third time, same old origin story, I would almost rather see a Miles Morales Spider-Man movie, because we have done Peter Parker so many times, and because everybody can tell you that Uncle Ben is going to be so proud. And you cannot get me wrong, Spider-Man is my favorite superhero. I cried when I read his Death in Ultimate Comics. He was there. I cried for 6 hours straight. And I hated Miles when he first came into the series. But it would open up a whole bunch more cinematically, and you're not replaying that same old tired character again and again. It's also dangerous, though, because when you hear Spider-Man, you think Peter Parker. And people...
The casual fan, and there's not, the comic book readers are few and far between. I mean, the casual fan, you say, who's Spider-Man? They say Peter Parker.
Exactly. I mean, and then they're going to see Miles Morales and go,
like, that's not Peter Parker.
I've been reading the memes online. They are so racist.
Oh, yeah.
So racist.
See, and I mean, there's a lot of stuff like that with James Bond and Idris Elba and stuff like that, too. And I don't get it. I mean, for me, like Bond, I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't care if someone like Peter Parker was even played by a black kid. I wouldn't mind, because his race doesn't define his character. You could make any of these guys, James Bond.
It's just like Annie came out with Jamie Foxx recently.
It doesn't define her character. The race doesn't define your character. It is who you are and who as a person that defines your character. So like you have James Bond. Who do you need? What do you need? You need a British guy. I mean, they don't even do that sometimes. Sometimes they use a guy from Scotland, Scotland, like Sean Connery. And you need someone, a British guy who's, you have that. You have a guy who has some swag and a special set of skills to go and kick some ass. Yeah. That's what you need. There's nowhere in there does it say James Bond was raised by two white parents and he was conceived at this particular day, and this is how he was born. There is nothing in there that says that. So for me, I mean, don't get me wrong, it will be a shock and it'll take some getting used to. Fantastic Four is coming out with a movie. You have
Human Torch is going to be played.
He's going to be Miles B. Jordan.
Yep.
Michael B. Jordan. He is playing the Human Torch. It's going to be a shock because he's supposed to be siblings with the Invisible Woman,
and she has been cast as a white female character.
So obviously, there's going to be some kind of like adopting or something along the lines, half siblings, something. Yeah. Whatever. As long as they're siblings, I don't care. Mm-hmm. It'll take a little shock. It's a little shock because you're going to be like, okay, this is how they're doing it now, and it might take you 10 to 15 minutes to get it. But after you see the whole movie, hopefully it's good enough, and you'll just lose yourself in the character in the movie. That's what it's there for. The race in certain things. Black Panther needs to be black.
Yeah.
He is the Prince of Wakanda. He needs to be black. Yeah. He is African tribe. That is him.
Yes.
He needs to be black. There is certain characters that have to be who they are. And that is something that race defines him. Other than that, I mean, it's tough to like really convince me otherwise.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is. I mean,
so let's go back to the topic. Donatello
How did we get on
being
the topic
killed off. Easily, because he's being killed off and it's opening a new
He's not dead.
Doorway.
He's not dead, by the way.
It is opening a new doorway.
He's not dead.
But it doesn't matter.
What do you
think? What do you think? What do you think about, do you think it's good to have major characters killed off in a movie franchise?
Like you said, it's all right in the comics, whatever. You bring them right back in the next.
There's Lazarus pits everywhere.
Yeah, they're all over the place. But as far as movies go, I mean, if we're talking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles alone, without getting into the big, you guys, I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Right I don't know.
My head was hurting.
Miles Morales.
No, I was listening.
Who is Miles Morales?
But if we're talking about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles right now, You can't come out of the movie and kill one of them. You can't. I mean, it's not gonna happen. I don't even know why people are even talking about it. You can't kill off Donatello in a movie. You just can't. You can't.
You don't. All right. So you
Shredder
really,
died in the first one, but he came back in the second one. Supposedly died in the first one.
For me, I mean, when I think about it,
you know what you know what you could do. You couldn't kill off one of the turtles, but I think you could pull off maybe offing Splinter, maybe that would more reasonable.
That's my opinion. Like I think you need to have deaths in these kind of movies because it brings a realness factor to the movie. Like if you don't kill off any characters, like in the first Avengers movie, they killed off Agent Coulson, and you haven't seen it. They killed him off in the movie, and of course he comes back to life on the TV show.
Yay!
And he was awesome in the movie, but what it did in the movie, it brought a realness factor. Like these people can die. Like if you're seeing the same movie, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, getting their butts kicked at the beginning and then come back and win at the end every single time, it becomes too formulaic, and you're now just waiting for them to win. And that is it can get kind of boring.
That's how I feel about Wolverine now. You're just waiting for him to come in and kick the bad guy's butt at the end of the day, and X-Men are going to be fine.
But in X-Men Days of Future Past, he got his butt handed to him.
He also lived.
He did live. I mean, he
was the hero. He can.
He can.
It happens.
Yes.
It happens in
Yes.
some
Old Man
universes.
Logan, all that kind of yeah.
But
he had in these movies, I think it's important for characters. It doesn't have to be major characters like that. But I think you could kill off a Casey Jones. You could kill off the April O'Neil. You can always add somebody else. You can kill off April O'Neil and add in somebody else. I don't think it's necessary to have April O'Neil in there. And the worst thing that happens is they sell more toys. Because there's a new action film.
In this franchise alone, Splinter, I think, would be the best option, only because your master has died. Now what are you gonna do?
Leonardo.
They're gonna have to pick one of the turtles to be, the leader now. And I don't see killing off one of the turtles. Why? I don't understand it. Donatello's not dead, by the way, in the comics. He'll be in the next issue.
We don't know that.
They're throwing it back to the earlier editions where he died, quote unquote, died too.
Well, he didn't die.
In the
very
intensive
care
issue,
unit.
He came back in the ICU.
We don't know.
He's not gonna die. I'm telling you. I will put.
Dude, did you see the?
Do I need to make another
guarantee?
Do I gotta make another guarantee? What am I doing on the next episode?
I think you guys should make bets. I think you should have to do something ridiculous, like wear a French maid outfit to the next show.
But
yikes,
he's not be hilarious.
All right, so the question is this good for major characters to be killed off occasionally in major franchises?
And you say no.
I say no, not if they're the main focus on. People go to the fucking movies to watch the Turtles. All right, they don't go there to see Leonardo die. That's the way I look at it. I mean, everybody looks at it different ways, but if they killed off a turtle, I probably wouldn't go. I'm probably not even gonna go to the next one either, anyway, because the last one was terrible. Wow. They should just kill off all the turtles after the last one. I mean, it's pretty bad when you have a new movie come out and you have all these special effects that is supposed to be good and everything, and it was worse than the third one. And the third one was bad. Like Back in Time or whatever it was called.
I don't remember.
It was horrible. Yeah. But the new one was even worse. The next one, man.
Well, it did make a lot of money.
It made a lot of money. Of course, that doesn't make it a good movie.
It was okay. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad.
They need to
do some readjustment. And good thing is a new director.
You know what they need to do for the new one? And I've said this. Why have they never had the little brain guy in any of these? Krang. Why? He's never been in any of them. They need to bring Krang. Like, they had, Rocksteady, Bebop and Rocksteady kind of with Tokar and Razor. Like, that was their take on it with the movies.
Bebop and Rocksteady are going to be in the next one.
Awesome. I want to see them. Mm-hmm. And I hope Tokar and Razor come back, too. I want them all,
Give me my evil villains.
I know
or give
this
me
is
death.
off topic again, but I could talk the whole show about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But I'm just really hoping this new one. Oh my god, it's got to be better, man. Like,
All right. So you're not so much of killing them off unless they make a movie as bad as the last turn.
So my final answer
And
is
then just
kill
bomb the
everybody.
franchise.
my,
It's fine.
my final answer is you can't kill off. If we're talking about this franchise alone, you can't kill off one of the turtles. You can kill off other characters. You could kill off one of the bad guys, not Shredder, but one of the bad guys. You can't kill off Shredder.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't.
Well, there's rumors in the next Avengers movie that someone might pass away.
Well, we're not talking about Avengers right now. So.
But that's a major character.
Yeah,
So,
well,
and we have someone here who actually thinks that there's a good chance that someone's going to die, and that person is not me. And Chad doesn't know comics.
Yeah.
That's all me and Doug over here. He should just be
Speculation?
behind the desk.
Yeah.
We should-
You can just pop out
I
every
need
once
him
in a
over
while.
here to whisper notes in my ears, like, yes.
All right.
All right, so we're gonna move on to we have a new segment. It's kind of incorporating two different things. It's called In or Out of the Movie Trailer Park, and this is where we're gonna quickly talk about the trailer, say if we're in or out, and just kind of move on to the next trailer. There's been a lot of trailers that have come out over the last just couple of weeks, especially in the last week. It's been like trailer heavy. So the first trailer is Pixels. The one that Chad wants to really talk about. This is synopsis. I'm going to give you the synopsis and then we'll go into the movie. When aliens misinterpret video feeds of classic arcade games as declaration of war, they attack the Earth in the form of the video games. Mm-hmm. What do you think about the trailer that came out about a week and a half ago?
All in,
huh?
5 times in.
5 times
Five
in.
times in. I am so on board with this movie. I was super excited when it first got announced that they were making this movie. I saw everybody that was gonna be in the movie. I couldn't be more happier about this movie coming out, and the trailer just put me over the edge with this. Like, you guys talking about superhero movies, this is kind of like my kind of genre. I love Adam Sandler. I can't really name too many movies I didn't like of him. I'm like in that small like group.
It's not a small group.
I love Adam Sandler.
It's not
That
a
is
small
not a
group,
small
but I'm
group.
talking. I love every single movie he's in. Like, there's people out there that hate grown-ups too.
I shame myself for liking grown-ups.
No,
too.
I don't.
I'm like, this movie, because the acting in it and everything is so bad, but it cracks me the fuck up.
The only one I
that's
don't
not
like is
bad then.
Click. I think that is the
Oh,
only
love
one
Click.
I don't
I
really
like that
I love
movie.
Click.
It made me cry.
Really?
Yes.
Great
Oh,
movie.
it
I
Just
just
the ending. Oh, so
It was
sad.
too much for me.
But yeah, all right. So
I cry at everything though.
I'm in for Pixels. Sarah, Pixels.
I am so in for Pixels. I just want to see Pac-Man nom through the streets.
That whole scene,
I'm so ready.
The whole scene where he
And Donkey Kong
And biting
throwing the
his hand.
barrels.
It
I
was
am
so-
so excited
That
for this
was-
movie.
See, Pixels for me is, I love the premise. I love the idea. And it's the same thing I go with Adam Sandler every single time. I see this movie and I'm like, this is going to be so bad. It's going to have stupid, funny humor in it. And I don't go and see it in the theater. I haven't seen an Adam Sandler movie in the theater.
You're gonna want to watch this
for
in the
a
theater.
while. I probably will. I mean, I will. I do the reviews and stuff now. I probably will go see it in the theater opening weekend. But I always look at his movies and I'm like, it's gonna be so stupid. And then I catch him on like HBO or Showtime. Like even Blended. I laughed like crazy at Blended and Grown Ups too.
Loved it.
I thought they were hilarious. And I like that stupid humor.
Yeah.
But it's like I just got to get over myself and be like, all right, Adam Sandler is not going to be giving us those, good movies like he's done, like Punch Drunk Love and stuff like that. He's not going to be doing those anymore or anytime soon.
51st Dates was great too. I thought
Yes,
it was.
yeah, no, all of those movies are really good. Wedding Singer, all those, they're great. They're classics.
Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore, that was one of the first movies
For
we
one of the
watched,
first
yeah.
movies we get to watch together.
And I have the poster right over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do.
All right, so you're officially out.
I am not. I will say I am dipping my toe in.
Am I catching you again?
You
Because
might.
are you on the fence and I'm catching you because
I did like his little monologue that he had at the end. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. We're all gonna die. Like I loved that at the end. I thought that was hilarious, and I thought it was a little because I don't like all that kind of stuff that he does. I don't want to see that in this movie, and I didn't see it. So I'm hoping that he gives us a little bit more, just acting ability rather than just acting like an idiot. And I'm hoping, so I have my toe dipped in.
This kind of reminds me of, and I'm gonna hate myself for not remembering the name of this friggin' movie, but what was the name of the movie that just came out recently about the video games? The movie, the cartoon movie.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph.
I
Thank you,
loved
Doug.
Wreck-It Ralph.
It seems like it's almost a live action version of that movie.
It's a little bit.
You said your favorite scene in the trailer. My favorite one was
we chopped his hand off.
when the creator of Pac-Man came over.
Come here, my son.
You've grown up so much. Put his hand up.
My favorite part of the entire trailer was you're seeing all the aliens come to Earth, and it's all the little
Space Invaders.
Yeah, Space Invader ships.
The trailer is very intriguing. I am really intrigued more with the premise than I am the actual, like, what I saw in the trailer.
Yeah.
So I'm dipping my toe in. I'm trying to get myself to be more true to my own self and really kind of like accept that I enjoy everything Adam Sandler does and start seeing him in the theater.
So I want to get Doug involved in this too.
Oh,
Short
right.
answer, in or out, Doug?
In.
In.
on
All right,
Pixel.
so 3 ins
And I kind of
and on a fence. On a fence. Not even on a fence?
I'm on the fence. I'm I'm looking over.
You're looking over. Okay. All right.
I'm looking over
All
at
right.
you guys. All
What's
right.
next
So
one?
the next trailer that came out recently was Southpaw, starring Jake Gyllenhaal. This is the synopsis: is a boxer who fights his way to the top only to find his life falling apart around him. Very weak synopsis, but the trailer came out,
Yeah.
boxing movie. I personally said right off the bat, this movie has Oscar nomination written all over it. Just off the trailer. Dude's ripped.
Yep.
You know, the Academy loves physical transformations.
Yeah, he looked good in this, man.
It's not even like it's going to be a movie solely about boxing. It seems like the boxing is almost going to be kind of a subplot.
Yeah.
It's more about him and his relationship with his family and how things kind of get taken apart, kind of sets things down a wrong path. I am all in on this.
Yeah.
I think this looks amazing. And to be honest, I haven't seen a boxing movie like recently, except for Rocky V, that I didn't like. I mean, there's boxing movies, they somehow they just really work cinematically.
I think it's a guy thing, but because
I don't know, man.
Sarah, how do you
I
feel about
watched
this?
$1 Million Baby recently.
How do you feel
It was
about this
cute.
movie, though?
It's cute.
It was cute. No, really, I don't like Jake Gyllenhaal. I don't
Whoa.
like Jake Gyllenhaal. There's something about his face.
What? Okay.
You're gonna catch that for our next trailer too. We share a pretty strong opinion on Tom Cruise. But no, I did watch the trailer. It hooked me in the trailer. That's something I can say for it. It looked good. It looked like a movie that I might not go and choose to watch it myself, but if it was on, I wouldn't stop.
Okay.
He got me with the whole "Daddy." I was like, the feels.
There's gonna be Kleenex in that. Theater, that's for sure.
Yep. So I mean,
Kind of on the fence. On the fence.
Yeah.
Let's say on the fence with that one.
I'm all in.
I love Jake Gyllenhaal. I don't see anything wrong with that guy's face. And I just recently watched the movie that he was in that I am actually glad I watched was Nightcrawler. And
He's got some really good acting
that
chops, and he
movie-
picks his roles really well.
that movie was so weird and so creepy, but he played it to the T. Like after I watched that movie, it's gonna be hard for me to watch another movie that he's in, just because of that one role. Like he played this really creepy guy. I know you've never seen it.
Nope.
It's on your list of what you want to see, but
Right.
I mean the movie itself wasn't that great, but his acting was phenomenal. I'm gonna go. I'm all in on this movie.
Excellent. All right.
So
So 2 ins, 1 out.
Doug,
yes.
I don't like Jake Gyllenhaal either. So
Whoa!
I didn't
Did
even
we watch
this.
Nightcrawler?
he's going out.
We watched Nightcrawler the other day.
Didn't
It
like
was
it?
so weird.
Yeah. It is.
I don't
I've heard it's
like
weird.
Jake
I haven't seen
Gyllenhaal,
it.
and I don't like Donnie Darko either.
It's not a good movie.
Man.
I wasn't sure how I'd get for a reaction for this.
What?
So it's like, yeah.
What'd you say?
I don't like Donnie Darko. Frank the Rabbit scares me.
That's the whole point.
No!
He's not supposed to be cute and cuddly. All right,
Why not?
what's the
Okay,
next
just
one?
next.
Next trailer.
Mission
all right,
Impossible
next
5.
trailer. Mission Impossible 5. Ethan Hunt. All right, so Ethan and his team take on their most impossible mission yet: eradicating the Syndicate, an international rogue organization as highly skilled as they are, committed to destroying the IMF. Are you in or out, Chad, on the Mission Impossible 5?
We are running so late right now.
We'll be all right.
I'm gonna say
We'll rip through
out.
it. You're out?
Yeah.
Just-
The movie, the trailer was good, but I'm never gonna see it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm
You haven't
gonna
seen
lie
that?
to my fans out here. I've never seen any of the Mission Impossible. So
Oh, we went over that
one.
already.
Remember,
Yeah,
I said
yeah.
1, 2. I didn't even
Oh
know there was
my
a
gosh,
4.
that's right.
But yeah, I'm
They're getting
out.
better,
I'm
too.
just gonna keep this. I'm going out. Go on to the next person.
What about you, Sarah?
I'm out. I am so out. I like The Last Samurai by Tom Cruise, and that's about it, really. I never saw the Mission Impossible movies. I've caught bits and pieces on TV, watching them with my dad, stuff like that, but no. No.
That's so sad to me. I'm all
sorry.
in. I love this trailer. I love the fact that Tom Cruise does all his own stunts. I think that's something really good for especially action movies, because you don't have to get those scenes where their backs turned to the camera and like they have the hair over their face and all that kind of stuff. You can actually use the real actor like Jackie Chan in all his movies.
Yeah.
I think that is really awesome. I think he embodies any role that he's in. I think he does such. I think his weirdness is what hurts him, and that is you had originally. I think it was because he was like the handsome guy on the block when he was younger in like the Top Gun and Cocktail and Risky Business, all those kind of movies. He was like the young kid on the block, and he was really good at acting then. But people didn't take him seriously because he was a pretty boy. Then you move on later in life, start jumping on the couch at Oprah and acting like a weirdo in Scientology and all that kind of stuff. And he has all these weird things surrounding his family. Now he's a weirdo. Yeah. And now that people started taking him seriously as an actor, he stumbled on himself, and now he's a weirdo, so people kind of lose interest in him in that. His movies still make a lot of money. I think he's phenomenal as an actor. As a human being, it's a totally different situation. But I think he is. I love him. And I'm so over the moon about this. I am all in. All right. So we have out, and in.
Doug.
100% in.
Yes.
100%. That's a
He loves Mission Impossible.
2.
Yes. The 3 and 4 are like so good, and I love 3 more than 4, but they're like interchangeable. They're so good. So good. All right. So the next one is another spy movie. We had the Spectre teaser kind of come out, and the cryptic message from Bond's past sends him on a trail, uncover a sinister organization. This is kind of like a very similar play on what we just saw with Mission Impossible 5. While M battles political forces to keep the Secret Service alive, Bond peels back the layers of the deceit to reveal the terrible truth behind Spectre. I am I'm going to pass this on. Sarah, you go first. How are you on James Bond, the Spectre trailer, the teaser trailer that we just got?
I've seen every James Bond movie ever. I will watch this one. That being said, I was ready for it not to be Daniel Craig anymore, and when I saw everything about Idris Elba, I was also on board.
Yeah.
So I was ready for like kind of a reboot, something to change. Now we're getting kind of that same Bond. So, I mean, I will love it because it is that same Bond, but it will be that same Bond.
Right.
So we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
Right, so
I'm going to go see it. I am in, but it's with hesitation.
Just not super enthused.
Yes. Yes.
What about you, Jen?
The only thing I know about James Bond is the video game. I've never seen any of the movies either. I know one. Was there's like 24 of them, right?
Yeah.
I've never seen any of them. I've never really been into the spy kind of movies. I did like The Kingsman a lot.
That was awesome. That's
such a
an
good
ode
movie.
to
Yeah,
the old
and
Bond
you
movies.
said that.
So
One of
good.
these days, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna try to watch all of them. But I got
You're never going to be. I mean, that's going
One
to take
of
you
these
years.
days.
No, I will get
gonna
around
take
to
you a
it. Trust me, I got a lot of free time. But I'm just gonna say out. I mean,
right.
I thought the trailer was good, but I'm out.
See, I'm in because it's a Bond movie, and I'm all about watching Bond movie and action movies and stuff like that. I am kind of with Sarah. I've never really cared for Daniel Craig's portrayal of Bond. I just feel like he lacks that suave factor that I want in a Bond.
Yeah. He's not attractive to me at all.
He's not attractive. I was joking with my brother the other day, and I said he kind of looks like a foot. But he's just
that
like
makes it worse.
like bitter beer face, kind of like those commercials that were back in the early 2000s.
His lips are shaped funny.
He's just he's whatever. I mean, some people find him attractive, whatever. I mean, for me, he's not Bond, and the tone of these movies are not Bond. It's just another action movie that is said it's Bond, you know, and people really like it. They liked him a lot. And this last one that he came out with was really good, and it's just not the same feel. And that's why I loved The Kingsman when it came out, because that was like such a refresher, like a refreshing take, bringing us back to the old Bonds. Like I didn't mind Pierce Brosnan as Bond. I thought that was the over the top suave, and it was kind of all more unbelievable to see him fighting and, you know, and stuff like that. As far as that goes, I'm in, but I'm not enthusiastic about it either. So we have in, out, in,
on the fence.
On the fence.
I do not care for Skyfall, so.
Oh, okay.
Right.
All right.
He was so excited for it too. It was awful.
That's disappointing. All right. So the next one is we have a lot of trailers. Avengers TV spot number 2. The synopsis for the Avengers is: when Tony Stark tries to jumpstart a dormant peacekeeping program, things go awry, and it is up to the Avengers to stop the villainous Ultron from enacting his terrible plans. What did you think about... I'll start with Sarah, because she is more of into this kind of stuff. I have a feeling where you're going to go with this. What did you think about the little 30-second or minute spot that was on TV recently?
The little minute spot was exactly everything I could have ever hoped for.
It was like the best trailer that they came out with.
Not even a little bit.
Yeah,
the first trailer was the best one. There are no strings on me. Ultron made that trailer.
I'm a big fan of Ultron.
But this one, you see like the reasoning for
how cool was it
this.
to see like Captain America riding the motorcycle and flip over it and then
the Hulkbuster suit.
Oh my god, all that. So amazing.
I'm so ready.
Yeah, we're both very in. We're in,
and Chad could care less.
I think this is one of the best trailers that they came out with. I love Ultron. I love that initial, there is no strings, the Pinocchio theme and everything. That was amazing. But this embodied the Avengers. Like it was like, this is who the Avengers are. There was the quips, like the kind of humor that they have in there, but you also had this dark feel to it as well.
Yeah, it
kind of embodied everything.
We've got Doug's little fan theory that is one of the main Avengers is going to die because it is not in. No, that's a spoiler.
Quicksilver. All right.
Yes, because he is not in the
Civil War.
No, he's not in that big backdrop shot. Every single Avenger is in that shot going against Ultron. And Quicksilver is nowhere to be found.
I haven't heard that. That is interesting. That's a little speculative. I like that. I like a little speculation out there. There was talks a long time ago about Hawkeye being the one that was going to die, but he's going to be in Civil War. So
be so mad.
He's going to be in Civil War. They already said that, so that's not going to happen. But that brings it back to the whole. I think that main characters need to die because. As of right now, they brought Agent Coulson back. So, as of right now, I don't think anybody's going to be harmed in this movie. So I don't... Someone's
gonna kick it, I think.
I hope so. I just don't know because the one person they killed off, they didn't kill off. And that really hurt me. I was kind of like...
You'll get all your deaths in the upcoming movies, don't worry. Thor's Ragnarok is coming, and you've got the Infinity Wars.
There's going to be a lot of...
Don't worry about it. You'll get
Wars,
your
we'll see if
big hero
survives.
death. we'll get there.
All right. So, and what do you think about Chad? Are you in or out?
I will be caught up before this movie comes out.
Oh, thank God.
Because I have said that I will be going to see this with you.
Excellent.
So I'm going to say I'm in. I mean, it looked good to me. I mean, a lot of action in it, and
and you like the Guardians of the Galaxy movie?
Oh, loved it! I'm over
hooked on a feeling.
Head over toes with that one, man. I love that one. Yeah. But yeah, I was on board with this trailer, the little TV thing. I'll say in.
All right, great.
Yeah. We already know his in.
Everybody's in, right?
Everybody's in.
Yeah, everybody's all in. I think this movie's gonna make $220 million opening weekend. This movie's going to do amazing money. All right, so the next trailer up is Maggie. A teenage girl in the Midwest becomes infected by an outbreak of a disease that slowly turns the infected into cannibalistic zombies. During her transformation, her loving father stays by her side. Her loving father happens to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, who does not have the best acting chops in the world, but... I saw this trailer. He doesn't have much to say. I saw this trailer and I was like, ooh, Arnold's showing some chops. I was really surprised. I was like, this. I'm not really into like the whole zombie. I liked, the Hot Fuzz and all those kind of movies that with the Shaun of the Dead and all that kind of stuff. That kind of, I like those movies a lot. I don't really typically like zombie and vampire movies and stuff like that. But this, I was intrigued. It's a totally different take on it. And it's him trying to find the cure for his daughter. And I am all in on this. I was surprised when I watched this trailer. I was kind of like, oh man, Arnold Schwarzenegger's in this. He showed me some chops. Great. Awesome. I watched this trailer 3 times. I thought it was really well done. And I'm looking forward to the movie a lot. What about you, Chad?
The trailer was very well done. I'm not on board with the movie though.
What?
I love horror movies. I'm on the fence with zombie kind of movies, and infectious kind of movies.
Mm-hmm.
There's been ones that I love, like Grindhouse. I loved it. I'm not a big fan of the infectious kind of disease kind of. I'm not in on it at all. I'm not in on Arnold's chops.
Come on,
I've never
been
a fan of him. I don't think he looks good. I think the trailer made him look good.
That could be the case.
The music and the tone of the trailer made it seem like he had the chops, but I don't think he has the chops. He's never shown it, so why all of a sudden
he has shown it. He has shown it. True Lies, amazing movie. That movie is amazing. You haven't seen it?
No.
True Lies is amazing. He does a really good job in that. He has shown chops in the past. Not necessarily dark chops like this, but he has shown that he can act. So I'm just hoping that's the case.
I'm out on it. I don't think the movie looks interesting at all.
In, out, and Sarah is.
I am so in for this movie. Yes. I do not like horror movies, but I love vampire and zombie movies.
Okay.
I love them, and I actually really like this take on zombies. Maggie herself looked really interesting. I just got back from watching the Walking Dead finale last night. Stayed up and then did this. So, zombies, I'm really about it. And Arnold, we all love Arnold.
Arnold.
So,
get to the chopper!
I've been an Arnold
That was the best
Schwarzenegger
thing
fan.
he's ever done.
I've been an
Predator
Arnold
was
fan
good,
for
man.
a long time, kindergarten cop status. I'd watch him with my dad. I love all of his movies, Terminator, whatever, it doesn't matter. So this is Arnold and zombies. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She did mention one movie that I did like, Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah.
But
So-
his best acting chops was in Jimmy Fallon's spoof, where that's what I thought you were talking about when he was talking about the
God.
get to the chopper.
Oh my goodness.
Get to the chopper!
No, so I'm in with this movie, and the trailer looked really kind of suspenseful. It seemed like they dragged out the zombification process a lot. It's going to be a different zombie movie.
Yeah.
Doug,
and
enter
that
out.
is
It's going to be more heartfelt.
And
Arnold.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. 3 ins, 1 out. All right. So we have the next one, which Chad is very excited for. That is Entourage. The trailer came out. Film star Vince Chains and his cronies take on Hollywood. And I think that synopsis embodies Entourage.
Yeah.
To a T.
Yeah.
Because that is what the show is about. And this movie is going to be an extended version of the show.
It's a fun movie, man. It was a fun show. It's definitely a bro show. It's one of those. I kind of compare it to Shameless now. Shameless. I actually talk to my buddy about it all the time. We don't talk about TV shows together except for Shameless.
Right.
And we did the same thing with Entourage. Entourage was almost like it came out and we called each other after the movie. We were like two little hens. Did you see Entourage? Did you see that?
Oh my God! Did you see what
Oh
Vinny
my
did?
God.
He's got that cocaine problem still. What
You
the
see
hell?
Bob
He's never gonna
Saget?
take it.
He's so fucking hilarious. I am all in. I think it's awesome. I'm saddened that it took this long to come out with this movie.
I think that's
the only thing that's gonna hurt this movie. But when you watch that trailer and you see who's gonna be appearing in this movie.
Oh yeah, Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, they have all sorts of cameos. That's what the show is like.
Yeah,
cameo after cameo.
Cameo after cameo after cameo after cameo after cameo. I think it's just gonna be a fun movie. Ari Gold is one of the funniest characters, and he
now
actually
he's the studio head.
At the beginning, he wasn't really like a main focus in the show, and he took off in the second or third season, and they kind of became the focus of the show almost. They were it was 1A with Vinny Chase and all them, and then 1B was Ari and what the fuck he was gonna say next. You know, like you never knew what this guy was gonna come out of this guy's mouth. Like, I am all in on this. I will be there opening night in line. What line? I will be in
That's
line.
what I said.
I don't think the movie's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna do well.
I think it'll do okay.
But I think there's enough Entourage fans out there.
It's not going to make $100 million opening weekend.
See,
that's for sure.
The thing with this movie is it's gonna be tough because I think this movie attracts the Entourage fans.
Yeah.
And it doesn't attract anybody else. Like, it's not a movie that you look at and be like, oh man, I gotta go see that movie because it looks awesome.
Yeah.
It's not one of those movies. I think with this movie you would have to watch Entourage to understand kind of what's going on.
I think what's good about this is that I don't think you need to. I think I think you could start pretty much anywhere in Entourage because it's just the same group of guys. It's just hanging out with these group of guys and watching them go through Hollywood. I am in on the movie, on the trailer. I thought it was a decent trailer, made me laugh, and it seemed like okay. And I only watched the first few seasons of Entourage because I kind of started to get bored with it. But I'm all in. I want to go and hang out with him one more time.
Direct, man.
I'm intrigued by it. And he was Aquaman in Entourage.
Yeah.
So I mean, I am in. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I am absolutely looking.
I watched the Entourage, and I was really hoping those movies actually came out, like like the one that he did about Tony Montana, I think it was. The whole season focused on it, and they always show the clips and like them out shooting the movie, and I want this movie to come out. Like I'm ready to watch this movie now, and obviously it never comes out. Like it's just that movie, but yeah, I'm in for this.
All right, so in and
I am so out on this movie.
Woo!
I do not watch the show. I watched a couple episodes of it. It was, why am I going to sit in my house by myself and watch five guys go out and have a whole bunch of fun in Hollywood when I could go out and hang out with my friends and have a whole bunch of fun outside my house?
that's true.
I don't have any interest in seeing the movie.
You should record it and then tape it and call it something else.
It's
like
just
Posse.
bad. It's just bad. I am not about it. I don't want to watch this guy go hang out with his friends, and I don't particularly like, what's his name, Vinny Chase or whatever. I do not like that guy.
That
He's kind
picture
of a
in the poster?
jerk in every movie he's in. He's kind of a jerk, and so
He's not
I
a
just
jerk
don't
in
like
this,
him.
He's not a jerk in Entourage.
In Entourage, that poster that they came out with, the dude looks like the Hoff.
Yeah.
He looks like the Hoff.
Yeah.
And he's like, look, he's got this. I'm like, that's like Knight Rider Hoff right there. That's like Baywatch Hoff.
Yeah.
I was like, holy cow.
Who was your favorite character in Entourage?
Oh, Ari Gold.
Ari Gold?
Yeah, he cracks me up.
He was probably
Just him and the back and forth between the guys.
I would have to go with Johnny Drama.
Okay.
Like the shit that he came out with,
he
man,
is
like,
ridiculous.
he's just
yeah.
awesome. Who's his brother, right? He's a brother of somebody, isn't he?
The movie we were talking about earlier.
And also, I never actually
Something
looked
about
this up.
Mary.
Was Viking Quest an actual movie?
I don't know.
Because he was Viking Quest. Like that was why he.
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, why he was famous.
Yeah, I didn't know because they went to Comic Con and everything,
Yeah.
and they had like.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, like I didn't know if it was an actual movie back in the day.
Yeah,
or
no,
not.
his brother was in. I can't remember. I can't remember his name.
Dylan.
Yes, Matt Dillon. Matt Dillon.
Matt Dillon,
He was
yeah.
in the movie we were talking about. Something about Mary.
Okay, yep.
He's
In or out, Doug? Out.
Two outs, two
wins.
All right, so the last one that just dropped last night, which you got to see during
Walking Dead.
This is a different one.
Zombies.
This is Jurassic World. Yeah.
Not the one I sent you?
No. The Bambi from Saturday Night Live. That was
I
hilarious.
did watch that last night as
That was
well.
hilarious. That was hilarious. I really did like that.
You should link that to the. You really should. You just should.
It's TV, but it's movie kind. Maybe I
Just-
will. Maybe.
just
It was
do
hilarious.
it.
We're gonna
was
put the
hilarious.
link up
For
on
the
CineBros
lulz.
page for you guys to watch The Rock in the Bambi, real
It's-
live action.
It is
Bambi.
worth it.
Maybe.
Definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. Check out me on Facebook then, and I already posted it. So.
There you go.
So, Jurassic World TV trailer dropped last night. I'm not going to give you a synopsis or anything. We kind of all have an idea of what Jurassic World is about. It dropped last night, a new one, and we just watched it before we started filming today. What did you guys think?
I'm so excited for Sea Monsters.
That big sea like whale.
I
with
am
huge
ready.
teeth coming out of
He's
the water.
just like jumping out like you're watching the show, you're expecting Shamu or something, and it's just like, I'm ready. And I guess that opens up a whole new way for people to die in that series as well, which is great as well.
Hunting for sport.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you think?
We talked about this with Brandon, and it was kind of a subject that we talked about, and I think I remember me saying I was kind of on the fence with the new movie, but as I see more and more stuff comes out, like, I'm really kind of getting more excited about this. And,
good.
I thought the little teaser was pretty damn good. I mean, I think we've seen the fish before, right? The sea monster.
Yep.
We've seen that before, but what I liked was you kind of hear the T-Rex growl in the background.
This is the. It's not the T-Rex.
It is. I think it is.
This is the mix.
No, I think he's coming back.
You think the
I
T-Rex
think-
and this
I think
new
they're gonna
hybrid
duke
is
it
going
out. I think he's coming back.
Interesting.
That's my take on it. I hope it does happen because I want to see T-Rex come back. I'm not on board. You already know I'm not on board with this whole hybrid crap. I want that T-Rex to come back. And
I am glad to see that fish coming out of the water. This one, you can tell that they've spent more time doing the CG work because it looked better.
yeah.
That I'm on board with. The more I see about this movie, the less enthused I've been getting. I have been watching this trailer and watching it develop, and I do like the whole premise of this new hybrid kind of attacking other dinosaurs and all that kind of stuff. I think that's great. I think, yeah, okay, cool. That's a cool idea. And it's hunting. It's you have all the pteranodons or whatever the heck they are coming down, swooping down, picking up kids and all that kind of
Pterodactyls
shit.
or whatever.
Yeah, you have all these things. I don't like the story of the actual characters. Like, I don't like Chris Pratt in it as the Velociraptor whisperer. I don't like I can't remember what her name is, the female lead.
Dallas Howard.
What's her name?
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Okay, so I don't really care for her. Like, they just keep showing her over and over again in her tight white shirt, going, "Yeah!" like, screaming at this, like, and whatever. I just don't. I haven't been enthused. The more I keep seeing, the less enthused I am by it. I'm still gonna go see it. I'm still in on the movie, but I'm getting less and less in with the more that I've been seeing. I am glad to see that the special effects have been improving, though.
Yeah, they have improved, yeah.
That is good. So the next subject here, we're going to switch segments again. We are going to go to a new topic, which is called...
But first, let me take a selfie.
And that is, it's a hot new trend for all actors, directors, producers, all that kind of stuff, to take pictures of them on set or a little glimpse of a Batmobile or something like that and post it on their Twitter account, their Facebook page, or Instagram or something like that. First one up is a photo was released recently by Zack Snyder of Jesse Eisenberg with a shaved head, which gives us our first look at him as Superman's most well-known villain, Lex Luthor. Go ahead, Chad.
I liked it.
Yeah.
It looked pretty badass in it, I thought. It looks weird because you're used to seeing
The curly hair?
the curly hair and everything, Social Network and everything. And it's a different look, definitely a different look, but I liked it. I don't know much about Superman, but
He's
Lex
the
Luthor.
Man of Steel.
I thought Lex Luthor was in wrestling.
He came
That's
from the planet
Lex
Krypton.
Oh, God.
Any relation? But yeah, I like the picture. I thought it was cool.
All right. So, and what did you think about it?
I enjoyed it. I love Jesse Eisenberg. He's always really funny, and to see him in a serious role is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think
I'm excited for it.
I am too. I think that this is like, you're getting this look of him, kind of like the social media, the Facebook, was the social network that came out. But I think he's going to have that, but he's also going to have that mean kind of look to him. Instead of being just the kind of socially awkward smart kid, he's going to be kind of suave. He's going to be mean-spirited, but you won't really see that except for like the behind the scenes stuff. And I love this picture. I loved his look on his face.
Yeah.
I like to see his head shaved.
He looks angry.
He
He's
looked mean. He looked mad.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it a lot. I was really pleased with that photo. All right, so another photo that was released was via Ryan Reynolds. I'm getting British shoulders on us here. Ryan Reynolds' Twitter account. This picture was Deadpool being seductively awesome, laying down here on a bearskin rug by our fireplace. We were also blessed with a synopsis over the weekend that, thanks to Sarah, she threw it my way when she saw it. It's based upon the Marvel Comics' most unconventional antihero, Deadpool. Tells the origin story of former Special Forces operative turned mercenary Wade Wilson, who after being subjected to a rogue experiment that leaves him with accelerated healing powers, adopts the alter ego Deadpool. Armed with his new abilities and a dark, twisted sense of humor, Deadpool hunts down the man who nearly destroyed his life. What are your thoughts on the picture and the synopsis?
The picture is classic Deadpool. He is meta. He is making a joke about another picture of, I can't remember who it was, but that is a joke off of another picture already.
Okay.
So this is already Deadpool hopping into like that third wall. And the fourth wall.
He's breaking that wall.
He's going in and he's ready to screw with the audience already. I'm very ready for it. A lot of the complaints that I've been hearing actually are more toward his costume. It looks like a cosplay.
It does.
Fake.
I agree.
But other than that, I mean, I watched the, they did test footage where they did a CGI bit with
That's how it
his
got made.
voice over it. And I was really excited. I think he's going to do a really good job.
Yeah, that test footage dropped around last San Diego Comic-Con.
Yep.
And Ryan Reynolds even came out and said that test footage getting leaked is the reason why Deadpool's getting made.
I am so ready.
That was amazing. And that was PG-13 too, that little thing that they did, which is surprising because it was very Deadpool-esque, and Deadpool is not typically PG-13.
No.
I really liked the photo a lot. I thought it was amazing. I think the synopsis is Deadpool. That is who he is. And I'm looking forward to seeing everything play out on the screen. I think the photo, awesome. I said the one thing that I felt with the little picture that he posted, he looked really thin.
Yeah.
It looked it almost seemed like a female was wearing the costume. Like, Ryan Reynolds is buff. He is jacked. He's not tiny. He looked thin. So that could have been just a CG outfit. It might not have been really him.
That's what I was thinking.
But
I want them to change his voice too for the movie. Ryan Reynolds has that distinct tone of voice, and I really, really, really. Oh, right. He was spoofing Burt Reynolds' picture, laying out all.
Thank you for that.
He was very. It is very Deadpool. It's very meta, but I want them to change. I want them to change Ryan Reynolds' voice. I want it to be more goofy. Like, everybody found Bane so hilarious in Batman. I want that sort of goofy thing to be done on purpose now.
So what do you think about Deadpool?
You already know mine.
I know you. I know you
No,
want.
I do care a lot. Like, yeah.
This is his hero.
Oh,
this is who he likes.
Yeah.
That's why I want to hear your thoughts on it, man.
I loved it. I mean, I thought it was funny. I think it captured what he's gonna be. I mean, he's not like the real serious kind of superhero. Exactly. I mean, I think it's funny. Now that we've seen that picture too. I mean, I'm all aboard with the whole movie. Anything they put out with it. I'm a Ryan Reynolds fan.
I think that Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. I mean, like his Van Wilder character, everything that he is in, like even Waiting, all that kind of stuff. Like his personality fits Deadpool to a T. I think the only other superhero that, like, they casted him in Green Lantern, which it didn't really embody that well. It wasn't his fault the movie was so bad, but I think the other character that he could have played very well in DC's universe would be Flash. Like, I think that Flash kind of has that wit about him too, especially, moving around all fast and stuff like that. I think he could have been a very good Flash. But as far as Deadpool, I mean, to a T, Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. Like, their personalities, they fit perfectly. And he also happens to be a physical specimen. So
that sort of like class clown prankster guy.
Yes, exactly. Yep. And I can't wait. And he was awesome. He was the best part of that Wolverine Origins movie. That scene where he comes in, slicing everything all up.
All the bullets, he's like...
Slices the bullet in half, kills two people, and then he's like, all right, everybody's dead. like,
you can come out now. The elevator's clear.
It was great. I mean, he was the best part of that. All right, so the next one up was a very sad thing for me. Hugh Jackman released a photo on Instagram with one hand having a metal claws and the other clawless. The kicker is his comment where he said, Wolverine, in quotations, Wolverine, one last time. He's been flipping and flopping a lot And I don't know if this is his choice or the studio's choice, but he's been flipping and flopping a lot because he had just recently come out probably about 6 months ago and said he'd only do Wolverine movies and stuff like that if the script was right. Then all of a sudden, about a month or two ago, he came out and was like, I'm going to do Wolverine until you guys don't, you're going to apply the claws off my hands. And now we get this. It saddens me because I think he is getting better and better as Wolverine, and he's getting more and more jacked. And I love him in that role. I think that his solo movies have been kind of hindering him because they haven't been very good. The first Wolverine Origins was not very good at all. The second one, they could have made it a lot better if they changed the ending a little bit. Like, I don't want to see him getting shot with arrows and all in the back and then eventually stop. I want to see him, lose control.
Beast mode.
Yeah, and turn around, slice all those things off, and then go after him with all the arrows in his back and kick some ass. I want him to go in there and go face this, and that suit that the guy put on, and all that kind of stuff with all the adamantium and stuff. That was so stupid. But they could have changed it a little bit, made it better. I'm sad that this is one last time. I wanted Apocalypse to be 2 parts. I wanted it to be 2 movies. Seeing that this is only possibly going to be 1 movie makes me a little sad. And then on top of that, Wolverine leaving. You also have the thoughts of, Jennifer Lawrence might be leaving. Michael Fassbender said he might be done. Nicholas Hoult, he said he might be done. Like, I don't understand why everybody's bailing because these roles make so much money and give you the availability to do other movies, like other independent projects and stuff like that. But it saddens me. I don't want to see him go. It goes back to the other thing, like it's good to have your main characters kind of leave. I wanted to see his last hurrah be an Old Man Logan story.
Yep.
Have him get killed off in that, but go down as a hero.
Yes.
Like, I wanted to see that happen. And it doesn't look like we're going to get that, at least with him as Old Man Logan, which sucks because I do think that you could do Mel Gibson as Old Man Logan. I think he would fit that role very well. I think he would look like he's got the hair, he could grow the beard, he's big, he's jacked now. Mel Gibson, I love him, he's a great actor. But what do you think about Hugh Jackman's photo?
I don't know that much.
I could talk about it forever.
Yeah, I know
The
you guys
photo
can.
itself is scary. It looks like he's dead, kind of, just laying there. One arm, it doesn't even look like the hand is missing claws. It looks like it's just hanging limp, and you can't see the claws. He looks dead. And now I'm terrified. Like, that's where I went as soon as I saw it. I was like, no!
Apocalypse
No!
Apocalypse is my favorite all-time Marvel villain.
So
I love Apocalypse. He is the ultimate baddie for me. Like, you have Apocalypse, then right below him you have Ultron and some other characters throughout the Marvel universe. Like Thanos is all right and all that kind of stuff. But as far as that goes, I'm really saddened by it. I don't want to see one last time. I want to see him go on forever. He has embodied the role.
Yeah, he has become Wolverine
and
over the
he doesn't
course
even
of the
fit the
franchise.
actual description of Wolverine. Wolverine is short, stocky, and and Hugh Jackman is tall and he's big, but he's not
guy.
stocky. He's lean and mean and he's just a beast. But he became the role, and it's unfortunate that he's going to be done. That sucks.
Yes.
The next segment up is the Courtroom, where we pick a topic and discuss why you think one is better than the other, or what side you're on, yes or no, all that kind of stuff. We're going to flip a coin. I don't know if I have a coin on me. Anybody have a coin? Oh, I have a coin.
I don't have a
Don't
coin.
have a
We're going to
coin.
flip a coin to see which person goes first.
Yep.
Whoever wins the coin toss gets to choose, if the other person gets to go first or whatever. So, all right, we're going to go first. I'm going to do it. You pick heads or tails.
All
All right?
right.
I'm going to catch it, slap it.
Okay.
All right? Go.
Heads.
Tails!
Oh, boy.
I'm going to let Chadwick go first.
Oh, jeez.
According to several outlets, Queen manager Jim Breach dropped some hints about the Freddie Mercury biopic. He said, you've probably followed the saga of the famous Queen Freddie Mercury biopic, which has been developing in Hollywood for the last 7 years. An important breakthrough is what we have managed to persuade Sacha Baron Cohen to write, produce, and direct this movie. And he has also agreed to star, with rumors saying the original departure of Cohen was due to a PG rating and that the surviving members wanted. And now they might be a PG-13 rating. We also got some information news, like just before we started, that this was all kind of a joke, but we're still going to argue about whether this should be made like this with Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah.
With all the information provided so far, do you think the Freddie Mercury biopic is a good idea? You can go at 1:59 on the dot. Go!
All right, so this is only a good idea if Sacha Baron Cohen is involved with this. I think he's the only person that can be portrayed as Freddie Mercury. He has the looks, he has the voice. There's not too many people out there that have both that combination, and to write it and produce it and just do everything. I think that's good too. I thought he was correct in backing out on the PG rating. You can't make a Freddie Mercury movie and make it PG. I don't think it's possible.
Done. That's your argument. Mine is going to be coming in just a few seconds. And what I think is, first of all, I think having Sacha Baron Cohen attached, I think he is the perfect person to act in it. As far as directing, producing, writing, starring, all that kind of stuff, that's way too much for one person. Way too much. The other thing is PG versus PG-13. The band members going to the being wanted to be more PG rating, and then you have Sacha Baron Cohen wanted to be PG-13. If that was actually a problem, and if you get the band members to sign off on PG-13, I think it's going to be too close to PG. This biopics like this need to be R so that you can really hammer home everything about that one character.
All right.
You get a 20-second rebuttal. Go.
Bringing it from PG to PG-13 was would be huge. I think it has to have at least the PG-13 rating. And I agree with you. I think it should be rated R. But as far as write, produce, and direct, he can do it. He's done it before.
Done. All right, my rebuttal. My rebuttal is he has done it before, and the movies were not good. The write and produce and directing and all that kind of stuff, and then dealing with the band members is way too much. I think that doing a biopic, you need to go as deep into the character as possible. I think a PG-13 rating is too glossy and too sugarcoating of a title. I mean, of a rating system. So I think you should go R or nothing.
Wow.
Yes. The verdict, we have a guest here today, and the verdict, we're running a little short on time, so normally we would take some time after the fact, whoever wins, and we would, talk about whatever we want to talk about at that point in time. We can spout off anything that's movie related, but we're not going to do that today. After hearing us kind of go back and forth in this quick little segment of this topic, what do you think? What do you...
I love Freddie Mercury. I love Queen. I really don't like the idea of a Freddie Mercury movie that isn't rated R. It would just be wrong. I am not about it. And one guy doing all of that is just, not for me.
So the verdict is?
The verdict is no.
No, so yes, I win. That's right.
No.
That's right.
I have zero interest in seeing this movie.
We just don't have enough time. So that's good. All right. I like to hear that. All right. So no 30-second thoughts this week. We don't have anything like that going on. We do have another segment that we're starting to play around with. It's called. Chad came up with a movie fantasy draft kind of idea, and we're gonna start going over that, and hopefully we'll be able to maybe do something like that next show. We're gonna start meeting kind of weekly, either Skyping or something like that together. To go over that, because I do think it's a pretty interesting idea. So hopefully we'll get to go that soon. But we do have some questions from the CinePublic here that we were given recently. The first question up is from Brad Neff, and this is his question. Obviously, you guys have a love for movies and reviews. Otherwise, we wouldn't be on this site or commenting. So, my question for you is: when did you find that you had such a love and admiration for movies? What was it? The subject matter? Was it a particular movie? He has gone on to say that he remembers sitting down with his father having a beer, him having a ginger ale. Sure, it was a ginger ale. Having some crackers and cheese, all that kind of stuff. What is the reason why you really fell into love with movies? It's been recently. I'm gonna say the last 4 or 5 years maybe, and I don't know if it's just because I got older and I had less to do, and
I found time to watch movies because growing up I never had time to watch movies. I was always doing something. But I think now that I got a lot more time to myself and can actually sit down and enjoy some of these movies that I enjoy, I think that's where it came in for me. I can't really think of a movie that really. I mean, obviously, I've always watched movies from when I was little. I remember watching movies with my grandfather, the old the old ones. I can't even remember the names of them, but the big giant ant would come out and the caveman. Like, he was so into those kind of movies, and I remember watching those movies with him. I'm a big fan of the indie films, and I love horror films. Mm-hmm. The first horror, like I say, horror scary film that I remember watching that really put me onto that genre was Arachnophobia. And
John Goodman.
That movie, I remember watching it. I had to be 10. I was really young when we watched it, and I had a sleepover with my buddies, and that was the movie that we picked. We went to the local grocery store and actually got the VHS, and I remember none of us slept that night. Like, we didn't want any spiders attacking us or anything.
I saw that in the theater.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine that I went to go see it with, he has recently passed. He passed on quite a while ago, but he had, you remember like the Skids pants?
Yep.
It was like, they had like the furry little things on the edge of them. I'm sitting in the theater watching this movie. I'm terrified of spiders to begin with. And he goes and he starts rubbing it on my hand, and I'm like, I jumped I was like, ah! And he laughed his ass off.
That's too funny.
Yeah, that was my
awful.
experience. Yeah, exactly.
That's too funny.
He thought it was hilarious. So what about you, Sarah? What's your?
I always grew up watching movies with my dad. Saving Private Ryan, Transporter series, The Matrix series. I watched Star Wars with him. We watched all sorts of stuff, but I lived across the street from a movie theater growing up.
Ooh.
So every single new release, I was across the street, and it was
That's
the
awesome.
thing to do. I mean, every Saturday night, that place would get packed. So, I mean,
Yeah,
movies. I cannot tell you when the Harry Potter series was coming out. I am still a huge Harry Potter fan, and I saw the first one 7 times.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew the people that were over there, and at that time I was like this adorable little girl in middle school. So they were just kind of like letting me in. They're like, she's already spent $35 on this. Back when you could see a movie 8 times for $35, okay?
Yeah. Those days.
So, I loved it then, and I love the movie-going experience, the popcorn. You have to have the popcorn. So, then.
Yeah,
Forever. Forever.
The movies to me are just one of those things that no matter who you talk to, like, it can be anybody under the sun. You could talk to somebody from like a totally different country and you can bond over movies. Like, you can, different races, different genders, different, whatever, religious, you can bond over movies. And I think that is one of those things that's amazing. Like, you can be in any circumstance, like, you could be at a dinner party with people that you don't know. Something like Old School gets brought up.
Oh.
I mean, you're just going to start having a good time talking about movies.
You're going to have
sometimes
a guy
you'll get
in a
arguments.
fancy suit going, where's my boy Blue? We're going streaking!
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and that's one of those things that's just, it's great. And I love to bond over movies. I love going with friends and hanging out and going to these movies, watching them and sharing the experience together, discussion that happens about everything. That's why I started this whole thing, is because I love to talk about the movies. I just spit all over the place.
Yes.
I love to talk about movies with people, and I love to just hear what other people's, because I love the subjectivity of the whole thing. Movies are an art form, and there is no yes or no, this movie was good. It's your opinion on if a movie was good or not, but it's not. Yeah, and I love the fact that you can just have a discussion, really get heated about it sometimes, but ultimately it's just like the passion for it. And I have so many different things, like growing up with my siblings. I remember watching all the Disney movies because they're 11 years younger than me, like Aladdin and all that kind of stuff. So we had that growing up, and like I went on the first date ever with my wife to see Major League 2.
Nice.
And this in the theater.
Perfect date movie.
Yeah, in the theater we saw that, and it's one of those things that kind of has just followed me throughout life, and I love it. And it's one of those things that, it's just the escapism of everything. It's amazing. I love movies so much. All right, so the next question up is from Elizabeth Reed, and she's going to say, okay, I'm going to get all serious on you guys now. I want to know, what is what your guys' most inspiring movie, and one that when you're done watching it makes you want to be a better person. She said, I also want to hear your opinion on how many movies are in a series are too many. 7 Fast and Furious movies is too many in her humble opinion. I'll start off. As far as inspiring movies, I mean, you have movies like, there's so many. I mean, Braveheart, Gladiator, all these movies that just you watch these heroes and just kind of become this leader and for good, and they're so inspiring, and it makes you want to like leave and kind of just be like, I want to be the person like on the like freedom, like doing that at the end. Like those are just like, they're just so moving. They're very inspiring. As far as like the Fast and Furious movies, I feel like you can, as long as you can keep reinventing yourself, you can go on forever. Yeah. Like we talked about before, Bond, there's like 24 of them. Yeah. They just keep changing the characters. Unfortunately, with something like Fast and Furious, they're not really changing the characters. They did once and it like flopped. Yeah. But so they have to kind of keep reinventing themselves. They've kind of gotten to this point where they're not very serious. They're not taking themselves serious. They're more of an action movie, popcorn movie than they were trying to be like a drag racing movie kind of deal. It's much more fun now. And I think this one is the perfect ending for that franchise due to Paul Walker's death. I think they're going to keep going because this is going to make movie. It's going to make money, but it all depends on how they can reinvent themselves. Mm-hmm. What about you, Chad? What's your inspirational movie?
When I think of inspirational movies, the first thing I always think about is like sports movies.
Yeah, those are
like Jackie Robinson's movie,
Rudy,
Remember the Titans. Mm-hmm. Anything along those lines. That's what I feel is inspirational. And growing up, I played a lot of sports and stuff. Looking back, I would have to go back to Remember the Titans being one of my favorite inspirational movies. As far as how many movies in a series is too many, none is too many. I mean, as long as they're making money, as long as they don't even have to be.
They got to keep it fresh, and as long as they keep it fresh and keep it going, good.
The whole thing is are they making money? As far as they're concerned,
that's their concern.
They're concerned if it's making money. My concern, the movie's got to be good, but I'm gonna go see the next one anyway. And
when's if this one's terrible though? When's if you go and you think it's
I'm gonna go see I'm gonna go see it. It's like Star Wars for you. I mean, they put out 3 crappy. Well, you didn't think they were crappy, but a lot of people thought they were pretty bad Star Wars. Everybody's gonna go see the new Star Wars coming out this year. I mean, it's all about the series. I go back to Ninja Turtles. I'm gonna go watch the next one, even though this one was absolutely crap. I mean, this not as long as it's still making money. It's still gonna be a movie everybody's gonna go watch.
All right, Sarah, what do you think about? What's your inspirational movie?
I'm also into the sports movies for inspiration, and I love The Blind Side, the Michael Orr story. Okay. I love that movie.
Based on true events.
I love Sandra Bullock in that movie as well. It's so funny and it's so well written, and she is just amazing. The whole cast was amazing, and the little kid who played LJ was great too. But I don't think particularly that 7 movies is too long for a series, because my favorite movie series right now has 8. That would be the Harry Potter series. Lord of the Rings is about to hit
it's
7?
It's at 6 right now.
Star Wars is at 6, going on a 7th movie right now. Some of the biggest franchises have that many movies right now. It's actually becoming more and more common. One, because you want to split up the movies so that you get a longer screen time showing. Like, perfect example, you've got Harry Potter, where 7 part 1 is leading up to finding the Horcruxes and everything, and then you've got 8, which is the battle. And you can really spend a lot of time focusing on the individual parts. For franchises like Fast 7, it's not like a part.
They just need to make up something.
Exactly. It's not.
They got to find out another way.
They're throwing a story together. Yeah. And that's where the line is drawn, kind of, for me.
They went from drag racing to heists.
And I guess they're bringing back the Tokyo Drift character to tie him back. No, he died.
Yeah, in the last one,
So they're bringing back the other kid.
The white kid,
Oh. They're bringing back the kid.
And that's my
cool,
whole
they're
thing.
tying him back in, but it's like,
I think
You dropped him 4 movies ago. Why is he back now?
Yeah.
I think he's taken over Paul Walker's spot. I mean, I don't think initially they wanted to bring him back. To be honest with you,
Who?
the kid from the
Oh
third
yeah,
one.
because Paul Walker died.
I don't know when they signed him on, or I don't know the whole backstory behind that, but that could be a possibility that, when Paul Walker did pass away, I mean, they needed to find a guy to replace him. And
Yeah, I mean, as far
he
as
was there.
making movies. I mean, as long as they can keep the stories fresh,
Yeah.
they can keep going forever. I mean, you can even change some of the characters in and out.
Yeah.
It'd be fine as long as the stories are good and they keep. I mean, they're eventually the heists are going to get boring
Yeah.
after time. They're going to have to do something else. But
Yeah, I've never been bored with any of those movies. Like, I liked them all. I mean, we talked about it
Yeah.
before. I
got very.
I
bored
didn't
with
love
the
the
first
third one, but I thought it was very watchable, and I liked how they tied it back together with,
Fast, Too
with the new
Furious.
ones. Yeah.
The first 3 were fine for me. I lost it at 4. Fast forward just didn't.
See,
And
they
then
got
I didn't
better
see
from that
5
point.
until 6 came out. And I guess I've seen 6, but I don't remember. So
They-
I'm like,
they started
so
getting
it's
it
starting to
better.
blur together. And when you can't really separate the individual movie from the franchise is when you really got to just say stop. Just call it quits. Throw in the towel. They're all the same. Just done.
We have an agreement with Sarah and Elizabeth. They are
Yeah.
in agreement that
That 7
time
is too
to
much.
time
But
to
no,
go.
no,
Yeah.
that's only
Finish it.
4 Fast and the Furious. As
Yeah.
I said, my favorite movie series is up to 8.
Some of them should,
Star
yeah.
Wars is hitting 9, or
As long as you have
or
a
it's
good
hitting
story. I mean,
7.
like you said, the books. I mean, they're following the books, so like it has a basic story to
Yeah.
follow. Like that is cool. I think
Yeah.
as long as you can come up with good scripts that are fun and entertaining, keep doing it. But
I'm gonna watch 7. I'm
gonna watch it. I don't know if I'll buy
Probably.
it, but
I'm gonna
I'll
want to watch 8.
I'll watch it.
All right, so we have the next question of this is what Bill Pia said. He said, just because it's an issue I deal with every time I put on Netflix looking for something new to scare the crap out of me, and not necessarily for Monday's show, but it's on Monday's show. Maybe down the road, where did the horror/scary movie genre go wrong, and is the superhero movie genre headed down the same boring path? For me, I think that the scary movie genre went wrong when they started trying to do all the shaky cam stuff. They kind of, Blair Witch came onto the scene, did the shaky cam kind of thing, killed it. Like, that is the best shaky cam scary movie that was ever done. And then everybody started trying to emulate because it was so cheap to make.
Yeah.
So those, and they started doing all the jump scares and all that kind of stuff, and that just kind of took away from the actual storyline of like these classic horror movies like Alien and, Freddy Krueger Nightmare. Like, you don't need to see the scary thing all the time. You don't need the things to jump out at you. You just need to have the music and the fear that it's around the corner, but you don't need to see it all the time. They are just throwing stuff at you left and right all the time. And it beats you down to the point of where by the time the end of the movie and you actually get the evil villain,
Sometimes the evil villain isn't even shown nowadays in horror movies, though.
it's
Like
so bad.
Cloverfield, I couldn't stand that movie because all I wanted to see was this like big, massive, like Godzilla dinosaur, and I didn't. And I was so disappointed. It's that I don't like horror just because you're either getting way too much of a good thing. Like, I laughed my way through Insidious because it didn't scare me. There was too much goofy going on, but The Grudge, I cannot listen to that sound. A couple of my friends have that sound as their ringtone. It's just like, ugh.
Yeah, like, I think there's that movie, like the first Ring movie that came out. I thought that was well done.
Yep.
Just there's certain movies that just,
just
do a
hit
really
or miss.
Poltergeist and all those kind of like they had a good formula, and now they're just kind of doing like quick jump scares and stuff like that with all those stupid movies. That's where I think it went wrong.
And Saw got up to like Saw 6, and you're just like,
I thought the
stop.
first 2 Saw movies were great. The first 2 were great. Like they
Yeah.
had like the twists at the end and all that kind of stuff. Those are great. But what did you think? What do you think? Where do you think scary movies went wrong?
I agree with you with the shaky cam thing. Blair Witch came out, and I mean, I didn't like it, but it did numbers. I mean, ridiculous numbers. The only thing that came close shaky cam wise was Paranormal Activity, and that was a one camera. That was amazing because that was one camera and 3 actors, I think, the whole movie. And that movie, it was pretty good. I think CGI is killing movies right now. The real factor is not there. You got Freddy Krueger, you got Jason. Those are real people. Like, they're
But
coming.
even the Jason movies even later on were terrible.
Yeah. I mean,
Jason X.
They were, but I'm talking,
Jason in space.
Yeah, basically.
I'm talking originals, like scary movies. Like, you don't get that anymore. You don't get that real factor anymore. I think that's what's taken a lot away from it. you just getting these weird like.
So they just need a good
going back
story.
to the Lazarus effect. Like it was just the CGI was terrible in it.
It had a really good premise going in, and then it just fell apart.
The storyline was really good, but it was bad halfway through the movie. There was no scary parts at all in it. You kind of saw it coming now. Like it used to be like you kind of didn't expect it to happen.
Well, now that you expect the jump scares to happen all the time,
that's what they're doing.
They're like you pan back this way, and then you're expecting it to be there, but it's not there, and then they get back this way, it's not there, and they keep going it back over until like all of a sudden it's like then it's there.
You don't
it's
care
so
anymore.
Stupid. Yeah, it's like
I think I think you're correct though. Like the shaky camera, they need to get rid of that genre. Period.
Cheap to make and they make money though.
Kind of
I mean, as far as the superhero genre goes, I think as long as they can keep it fresh with people dying, like Coulson did in that first Avengers movie, as long as they actually kill them off, I think that this will not. I think you could keep going. I don't think it's getting stale for me. I think it's great. I think as long as you keep that realness factor and you keep the fear that these heroes are actually in danger, I will be all for it.
Yeah, I don't think you can really kill the genre because there are so many different kinds of superheroes and so many different arcs and storylines. There's so many ways to go with it. It's an almost endless fount of ideas.
There's so much material with the comic books.
So where you get the same shaky movie 3 times in a row, you're not going to get that. You're going to get Black Panther, you're going to get Ant-Man, and then you're going to get like Wonder Woman.
I mean, they just what they did with Guardians of the Galaxy. It was like that was more of action adventure comedy.
Yeah,
than it was like
really
a superhero.
Funny.
I mean, it was really good and really funny, and then the soundtrack was amazing. So I think we're all kind of in similar.
Yeah.
The way we feel about those.
Superhero movies not going to end. Horror.
And we will
throw this out though with the horror movie genre. I just want to plug it real quick. It Follows is out in It Follows. Is out right now, and I think it's only in 28 theaters right now.
No, it got bumped up to like 1,200.
It got bumped up to 1,200.
Yeah, it's
now.
in the top 5 in the box
so
office.
Scary.
I'm going to see it next weekend, and I already told I think it might have been Bill or somebody that I would get back to him and tell him how it is. But
cool.
Who wrote this one?
Yeah, Bill loves
Bill.
horror movies. He loves.
I will
horror
get back
movies.
to you, Bill, and let you know how it is. I'm going up to Hartford to see it,
and we will. We're not going to be able to do it on camera because we don't have a lot of time. Kat has to leave soon. But we will be taking these 3 questions. We'll put them in a hat, and then I'll post who won. I'll have Sarah pick it out of the hat, and then we'll have them. We'll give away a free movie ticket to one of them. So, and then I'll just get your addresses, and then I'll fire it off to you in the mail. But other than that, we're going to move on to the next one where we do our bi-weekly movie challenge, which is me and Chad alternate movies, and then we quickly recap and rate the movies that we were giving each other. This week, I gave Chad The Princess Bride to watch, which is, in my opinion, an almost perfect movie. We'll see what Chad thinks. I think Monty Python The Holy Grail is an almost perfect movie. Chad didn't feel so much the same way. What did you think about The Princess Bride?
I watched it. I've been watching all your movies twice just to see if I can get a grasp of these movies, and they just don't grab me sometimes. And this one didn't grab me.
What? Fred Savage?
The way?
Little
No,
boy?
well, yeah,
Most genius child
wasn't
actor
in
ever.
it. I mean, he was very, very small role in it. I thought maybe it might have been a good movie if I grew up watching it when I was like 10 or 12. It was a fairy tale movie. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have seen it. It was a pretty basic fairy tale movie to me. I didn't find the comedy there that you were talking about. Like, I didn't think it was that funny. I kind of saw it like as a never-ending story kind of movie, like along that line. I know you. I just don't. These guys already know we don't agree on movies a lot.
No, that's not true.
No.
You
No, I don't know. We go back and forth with movies and stuff.
We do.
And this is just another one that didn't hit a home run with me. I thought watching it, I thought I was too old for it. Like I didn't see the comedy as an adult-orientated comedy movie. Like, I found it, maybe kids found it was funny, or maybe teenagers, maybe in that genre.
It's funny because of all the movie tropes that fly right over a kid's head.
And
That's the meat and potatoes of the thing.
I didn't see it. I don't know.
I only have
Heart.
one thing to say to you.
My heart
God.
Hello. My name
is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
I did laugh at some
Can I
parts.
tell you? They usually do a segment where they name their favorite comedy, favorite action adventure, favorite drama for the new people.
Yeah.
What does that say?
Princess Bride is number one. Princess Bride is number one.
It is number one. And the first quote I have on there is, my name is Inigo Montoya, and then never go against a Sicilian when death is on the line. And inconceivable, because those are the three most...
I don't think you know what that means.
That word does not mean what I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, no.
I did like some of the guest appearances in it. I mean, you had
Billy Crystal.
Billy Crystal in it. All I could think was Monsters Inc. the whole time he was.
Oh my
talking, you know,
God!
Like, just like I mean, instantly it was hard to tell that it was him if you didn't know it was him. But the second he started talking, you knew it was him. As far as like the stars, I obviously I know Fred Savage. I know Columbo. He was probably the biggest guy in that whole movie.
Billy Crystal's bigger than Columbo.
Well, no, I meant main kind of. I mean, he wasn't really a main guy because he was just telling the story. I mean,
right.
But he was probably, I would say, the biggest star in the movie.
Andre the Giant played physics.
Yeah, but I mean,
what about Robin Wright?
Killing me, Smalls.
Columbo was pretty popular, though. I mean, come on.
He was popular.
He's
what about Fred
iconic.
Savage?
Oh, that's what I said. I mean,
come on.
I don't know. I just didn't. It didn't.
So what would you rate it? I mean, obviously, it didn't hit you as well.
I just found it as a
most
regular
people,
fairy tale movie. I mean, I didn't. 6 out of 10.
Oh,
that was my rating. I don't know what to tell you.
I need to go cry. I'll be right back.
It's fine. I mean,
all right. Well, the movie that you gave me was Tusk.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, this is all going to be a very spoiler film. I'm going to give you a very in-depth overview here.
Mm-hmm.
The movie that Kevin Smith had talked about on his podcast, the Smodcast, and he got a bunch of. I think did the studio make it, or was that crowdfunded?
I think that was all him.
Was it just him?
Yeah, he just put it up.
He put it together. It was all about this story that they came up with on the podcast, and they decided to make a movie out of it.
That was the cool factor in this movie.
Right. So what this is Justin Long is the star, and his name is Wallace in the movie, and he has this podcast that he goes around and he basically they kind of pick fun at people, and they find it crude. It's kind of more of a Howard Stern type of show than it is it's kind of a shock value. And it starts off with this Justin Long and Haley Joel Osment, or Haley, that's his name, right?
Yeah.
Haley Joel Osment.
It's something like that.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
So it starts off with them, and they're kind of sitting there, and they're watching this YouTube video of this guy doing this sword. And I knew something bad was going to happen. I knew that this is kind of a horror, kind of a shocking film. Knew something bad was going to happen, and I'm watching this kid slice with the sword and everything like that, and it's going all around, and I'm like, oh no, he's going to cut his fingers off or his head, something, he's going to stab himself, I don't know. And all of a sudden he goes like this, and chops his leg off. He's like, ah! And it shows them laughing. They're laughing at, look at that guy, what an idiot. And Justin Long even says, he's like, what? He's like, we can laugh at this guy. He's like, he's famous now. Whatever. And he's got 10 billion hits.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. I was like, I got nauseous when I saw it, because I even knew it was coming. The CG on it was terrible too. It looked so fake, but regardless. So it goes to that. Now what's going to happen is Justin Long's character is going to Canada to track this guy, or he actually has a meeting with this kid, have him on the podcast. Well, when he gets to Canada, he finds out kid died because he killed himself because he was so sad about everything. Yeah. So he killed himself. So now you're talking depressing. So it goes from there. Now he is trying. Justin Long has no remorse. Yeah. He's more upset that his podcast is going to suffer.
Yeah.
So
all that money.
Yeah. So he spent all $500 to get there, but the kid killed himself. Oh, what a selfish bastard!
Right.
That's what he said. That's kind of what he's doing. So he's trying to find somebody else to fill the void in Canada, and he's like, everybody's nice here. It's the most boring place in the world. Stumbles across this little note in the bathroom, and he meets Howard Howe.
Yep, and he meets him.
Oh my God. This is where it gets creepy. It starts off, they have their interactions going back and forth, very creepy. He prepares him some tea. Justin Long's drinking the tea. Of course, the tea's spiked. Yep. Shit goes awry. He passes out, wakes up, missing a leg.
Here we go.
Movie in the first 30 minutes comes full circle. He's missing a leg, and now he's upset about it. And, so I'm like, oh, that's a good tie-in to he was just picking on somebody with missing a leg.
Yeah.
Okay, good tie-in. No, that's not where it stops.
No.
It gets worse. This guy is in love. Howard Howe is in love with walruses. And he turns Justin Long into a walrus.
A legit walrus.
Not only a legit walrus, like the most creep-tastic walrus you've ever seen. Now, I think that this movie would be great to watch with a group of people.
Yeah.
Because you have a couple of cocktails, you're watching a movie, you can pick fun of it.
It's so funny.
This movie was so weird, and it really lost me. I was like all in on this movie up until the cameo. Johnny Depp's cameo in the movie. That ruined it for me. That took it to a totally goofy and like weird way, and it totally separated it from the movie. Like I was enjoying in a weird way this transformation happening and having Justin Long's character kind of become this beast, and literally becoming this beast. Yeah. And watching it, and that was kind of creepy in a weird, cool kind of way, but it was like also disturbing. And then they go off on a tangent with, Justin Long's girlfriend. Yeah. And was Haley Joel, was his name Ted or something like that in the movie?
I can't remember his name.
Like him and the girl, were they like dating?
No.
Or like was he like cheating on him with her or something? Because they slept in the same bed together.
Yeah, I don't.
They're just friends.
I think they were just friends.
So I mean,
no, they were cheating. Yeah,
yeah.
Okay,
so
yeah.
like, but
it's been a while since I watched.
But he's in love with she's still in love with Justin Long's character and all that kind of stuff. It was such a weird movie, and that's where it took a turn for the worse for me. And if I had to rate this movie out of 10, I would give it a 5.5 out of 10. If it stayed on that road, and even if it's short, like an 80-minute movie, and it stayed on that walrus and then having more of a legit like detective kind of coming after like the creepy Howard guy, like I would have thought like they didn't even have to be like just shorten that. Like that whole thing with Johnny Depp was just way too long. They talked about way too much. Yeah. Fast forward that a little bit, cut some time down, and that would have been much better. And I probably would have given it a 7. But because of that, it really took a nosedive for me.
That movie jumped about a half a point higher only for that one fight scene for me.
Oh, the walruses?
That fight scene was a great scene.
When, like, all of a sudden he gets out of it. He's like in the walruses. Like, we need to fight like walruses. I had the advantage last time, of the sneak advantage. And like, but this time we're going to fight as real walruses. Oh, my Lord.
And how weird is that ending?
It was so weird. I still love you. Here's a fish.
Remind me to never watch anything Chad suggests ever.
Don't ever say that. No, because you never know. Like,
this movie was
your B-movie thing is just.
This movie was twisted.
Yeah.
This is so weird.
Strange.
And twisted. And they even at the end of the movie, they had Kevin Smith with his podcast buddy talking about developing.
Well, they showed the clips and everything. I just thought it was a very cool concept of how they brought their audience in with them, and they brought them along the ride. And unfortunately, the movie wasn't great.
Right.
I'm not gonna sit here and say it was great, but to me, it was a guilty pleasure. Like I could watch it again and again and again, and just gearing up for that fight scene, dude. Like that fight scene was one of the best fight scenes ever.
It was
dude.
Ridiculous. And then, oh my God, it's just like
he was awesome. The old man was awesome.
I had a hard time sleeping that night. And I was like, I couldn't get my mind to stop thinking about it. I was like reading on my iPad, and I'm just like, I'm like reading it. I was like, I can't remember. I was like reading the Aquaman 52 series, and I'm like trying to I gotta get through this, and get this out. I put it down, like, freaking tusk, like in my head.
Aquaman, walrus. I see the connection there.
So bad. Oh.
So you said 5.5?
5.5. Yeah, if I watched it with a group of people, I could see how it could be fun. Yeah. And maybe get into that 6.5, 7 range, and more of like a movie that hurts so good kind of. Yeah. I could see that getting to that.
It was a 7 for me. Right. I liked it a lot, and a 7 is a high for me. By the way, I rate movies very hard. But
there was times it was enjoyable.
Yeah.
There was times that it was tough to watch.
Right. Very well, very good.
All right, so what movies are we going to give each other next week?
All right, so I actually brought the movies in this time.
Ooh.
I have one movie that I don't know if you have seen or not, so I brought a backup one just in case, and I know that you haven't seen, and we're going to go with Piranha.
Oh, my gosh.
This is the original. I actually went out and bought it. 1978, I think it was. Yeah, 1978. This is the original. It is the better one. I love Piranha, the new one too, and Piranha 3D.
I might have seen a small snippet of that a long time ago, but I do not remember it at all.
You're gonna have to watch that though. That's your movie. You can unwrap it and everything too, and it's the special edition. It's not Blu-ray, but it is a special edition.
All right. I have a movie for you that is another, in my opinion, it's a movie that hurts so good. Mm-hmm. It is. I don't know if you've seen it or not, and I'll find out. Have you seen the movie Point Break with Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves? Excellent.
I'm going Swayze again on
I'm going Swayze. Swayze-tastic.
Swayze-tastic.
Getting all Swayze.
Is this going to have to live up to the last one? Is it going to do that?
It's a little different. It's more heist-based. And it's actually a little bit more of a real movie than Roadhouse was. Roadhouse is just...
No, Roadhouse was a real movie.
Yeah, no, that was the real funny movie.
It was a real movie. It
was
a
funny movie that wasn't meant to be
movie.
funny. That's like the number one on our list so far as the movies that we've talked about on here for movies that hurt so good. They're so bad.
That we actually agree on. Yes, that was the best. Yes.
So yes, I will give you that movie this time around,
right,
and
cool.
I'll have to watch that again too because they're coming out with a remake with that too. I think that's coming out next year. So. Before I end it, I did want to go and talk to you about your three favorite movies. There's genres.
Yep.
We usually do that at the beginning.
I need my cheat sheet.
I forgot to do it at the beginning, but I don't want to. You prepared?
I am
so
prepared.
I do want to give you those.
This is really, really quick, actually. My comedy movie was The Princess Bride, and I already told you all the reasons why. I mean, Epic. Carrie Ellis and then Andre the Giant, and it's quote-worthy, and it's hilarious, and it's wonderful.
Nice.
My action-adventure series is kind of like a guilty pleasure. Every time they are on TV, I will put on The Mummy. I love Brendan Fraser. I love him. I love him in Inkheart. I love him in Journey to the Center of the Earth.
I have the trilogy over there.
He is my favorite, bedtime movie actor. Whatever I'm doing, anything with Brendan. George of the Jungle.
Yep.
Anything. He is my go-to
was he in Encino Man?
Action adventure guy.
Yeah.
Biodome.
Was it Biodome? I don't remember which one it was.
I think it was Biodome.
Yeah, because okay.
I think.
All right.
I don't know. But the Mummy movies, they're amazing.
Right.
And then for drama, I love the Boondock Saints. We had this discussion. It's amazing. Sean Patrick Flannery, and you can't go wrong with Norman Reedus, my Walking Dead love. And Willem Dafoe's character actually made that movie for me. He was batshit insane. Excellent. It was amazing. It was amazing. So
that was a movie
not
you've
only
never seen, right?
I've seen part of it.
Not only is it really quotable, I don't know, I've got a whole bunch on here. Hey, fuck ass, get me a beer. 7-Eleven, not always doing business, but we're always open. And then, one for the late Spock. We've got Chekhov. Well, this year's McCoy. We find us a Spock. We have ourselves an away team. It's just the quippy little, I don't know. It's fun.
One-liners can make a movie. They can.
And it is dramatic, and there is action, and there's no crappy romance to weigh it all down.
But the big key to this is fuck, marry, kill.
Yep, fuck, marry, kill.
This is how this gets played. You have to kill one movie off, never be able to watch it again. These are the last three movies in your existence. All right? You have Mummy, Princess Bride, and Boondock Saints. You have to kill one off, you're never allowed to see that ever again. You have to marry one, which is a movie that you can watch from now to the rest of your life. And then you have another one that you're allowed to watch over one weekend.
The Mummy series I'd put for the weekend. Or whichever one of those three that I decided was my favorite would be my weekend movie.
Okay. It's tough.
I can quote both these movies. I can play them in my head. It's not like I would actually really lose something by not being able to watch one ever again. But, so the one I guess I'd stick with every single day would have to be The Princess Bride. You've got the fighting, you've got the funny, you've got the clever tropes, overplayed, but so funny every time. I don't know. I'd have to pick that one.
How about you, Chad?
Princess Bride would be the one I get rid of.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Killed
Surprise.
off the
I was never. despise Brendan Fraser and everything that he does.
There's something wrong with you.
I didn't like The Mummy at all. I know a lot of people do like it, but
It's definitely a guilty movie.
it
Oh,
is,
yes.
I don't think he's a good actor at all.
That's part of what makes it so good.
I wish I could make a career off being horrible at something.
Oh my gosh.
I would have to say, just for the weekend, I guess I could watch The Mummy once,
Come on.
and then
Not
obviously,
once. You have to watch it all weekend.
Boondock Saints is one of my favorite movies, so
Okay.
I could watch that every day.
For me, I think it's almost a no-brainer, but I'm torn between the Boondock Saints and Mummy, because I like the Mummy, especially the first one. I thought it was a very clever idea. I don't really like the direction of it and stuff like that. It was very cheesy, but in a good way. I would like to say that I would watch that. Since I haven't seen Boondock Saints, I am going to kill off the Mummy, and I am going to have the Boondock Saints as a weekend movie. Because I have never seen it in full. So I'm going to watch that over a course of a weekend, and forever, ever, ever will be The Princess Bride, because it has everything in it.
Yes.
Everything under the sun. That is like the perfect movie to have to only, if there's one that you have to watch for the rest of your life, that's it.
It is really good. There's action, there's drama, there's romance.
There's like so many that are like that. There's only a few movies that are
it's
like
so
that.
good.
Like True Lies is another one that's really good like that. Like it's more modern, but it's action, romance, like just a lot of different stuff like that. So that's where I go.
Yeah.
All right, so that is going to be it. We are coming 3 minutes shy before when Chad has to leave. So
Perfect.
All right, so thank you again for watching this episode. Remember, go over to subscribe on the YouTube channel, and if you listen to this on the podcast, either on iTunes, go to iTunes, rate, and write a review about it. It only takes a few minutes. I'll even post some links. I'll try and post them from time to time, so take you there. Where can people find you guys on the Twitter and interwebs?
On the interwebs, Facebook is the best way to find me. Good luck doing it. We already have to be friends in common first, which is how Shane over here found me.
Yeah,
so
that's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. You don't have any Twitter or anything?
My Twitter handle I use only for Warped Tour, but it's at Arias Equitas. It's actually a throw to Boondock Saints. It's Latin, and I'm not. Good luck spelling it.
Yeah, okay, excellent. Try and search her out. Go ahead.
Yeah, try and find me.
All right, where can people find you, Chad? I know you just got a Snapchat.
Yeah, I just got Snapchat. You can definitely follow me on that. Can't remember what my name was though. I think it was Sir Chadwick 82. That's what it was.
Sir Chadwick 82.
So definitely find me on Snapchat. I'm gonna be Snapchatting a lot of movie stuff, and I might actually incorporate it in with a special giveaway for myself, with pictures that you guys send me of at the movies or whatever. You can find me on Twitter, you can find me on Instagram, and you can find me on Facebook, all at DJ Dizzle82. And from now on, I'm going to start this thing. I haven't even told Shane.
What?
But I'm going to have my favorite quote from the movie that we watched earlier, and that's how I'm going to end my segments from now on. I'm going to go straight into it. I'm not going to explain it from now on. This will be the first time I explain it. So I'm going to end it with, remember, guys, take care of your balls, and they will take care of you.
Yes, Dodgeball. I wrote that one down before. All right, you can find me always at facebook.com/the CineBros, on Twitter at the CineBros, pretty much Instagram, the CineBros. All over there. YouTube channel, please, like I said, please go and subscribe. We need as many subscribers as possible. Need to get to 500 subscribers at some point, because that's when I can actually lock down the title of the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And then also the podcast. That is really important for you to rate us, because if we can get our ratings, we can actually become a little bit more available to people on iTunes, the more ratings that we get. But then again, thank you very much. I really appreciate it once again. And we will see you guys in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.